Greetings and welcome, viewers. I am your host and storyteller, Sylvanov. Thank you for joining us while we delve into the world of darkness with Vampire the Masquerade. This stream is intended for a mature audience and does contain mature themes that may not be suitable for all viewers. This game revolves around the dark horror theme and may contain content that may be a trigger for some audience members. Please keep in mind that this is a work of fiction. The views and actions of the characters are not explicitly the views or actions of the actual players. At no time should any of the violence or horror portrayed in our game be attempted by anyone at any time for any reason. Please sit back, grab a drink and a snack, and join us on the shadowy path that is the world of darkness. And now, before we start, please meet and welcome our players for the evening.
Hi there, I am Sammy Danny Joe on Discord, I guess, and I am playing Virginia Stone the Toreador.
I am Mr. Plunderloot on Discord and Twitch, and I am portraying Victor Costa, Clan Ventro.
You're muted, Zeke.
Thank you. I am user Metwatt on Twitch, and I will be portraying Mr. Ezekiel White.
Good evening, folks. I am Phantom_Trickster1 on Twitch, and I am playing Sam Smith, the Toreador.
Evening, everyone. I'm Sale on Twitch. I'll be playing Tim.
Hello. I am the Ivy Raven on Twitch. I am Raven on Discord, and I will play Annabelle the Nosferatu.
And as we left last evening, there was a harried amount of events that occurred, not the least of which the attempted arson of the two silos tap room, the staking of a primogen Mr. Walter Quentz, among other things, the presence of a Second Inquisition agent gathering information and making contact with members of the coterie. And as we rejoin our group, Tim, I believe you are making your way away with one Walter Quentz over your shoulder. I believe you were followed by Mr. Sam Smith and Mr. Victor.
Yes.
Zeke, you had made a clean getaway towards,
as far as I know,
towards your
Old
compound,
Town.
or you were going to Old Town. Great.
Yeah, I was heading to Old Town. And then, depending on what happens there, the compound, yes.
Virginia, we're going to start with you
Yes.
this evening.
Okay.
The previous evening, you were definitely busy at the Haven Club. There was at no less than two interesting persons of note at your club the evening previous. One of which was an Israeli gentleman, or he seemed Israeli. He wore one of those head wraps and would always drink tea sitting at the bar. Never really made contact or conversation with anyone there, but he definitely seemed to be paying attention to everything going on. Halfway through the evening, he paid his tab and left quietly. Shortly followed, the other individual left just the same. Later in the evening, you noticed a great deal of emergency vehicles moving past your place down the 234 bypass directly to the Two Silos Club. Where we pick up with you is near the end of the evening, wondering what the hell is going on over there. You see that most of the guests. There was a slew of traffic heading away just as all the emergency vehicles were arriving. Several fire engines, a pumper truck, a couple of ambulances, several police cars. There seemed to be quite a hado going on at the two silos. You have approximately about an hour left in the evening as things are winding down. As you can see from the top of your building or the top of your parking structure across the way to the two silos, as the emergency vehicles begin to slowly drive away one after another.
I guess my first instinct would be to try and contact Sam.
You
So
get immediately dumped to voicemail.
I'm going to try Victor next.
You immediately get dumped to voicemail.
That's concerning.
It should be.
So I'm going to think it's safe to assume that some crazy shit just went down. I'm going to take my phone and destroy it.
Okay. What else do you do?
I'm going to give Lorenzo a call because I'm not going to leave my office just yet. I'm just going to contact him. And
Lorenzo is actually downstairs managing the wrap up for the evening. He's going through security footage to make sure there was nothing strange. He's doing his job.
yes, I'm just going to talk to him for a quick sec here.
Miss Stone, yes.
Hi, Lorenzo. Good evening. I am going to have to take a little bit of a break, I guess. I'm going to leave you and Freddie in charge. Nothing major, just a little bit of business I have to tend to.
Okay. Okay. When can we expect you back?
I'm going to say sometime next week I'll check in with you.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Do you need anybody to go with you? I mean, myself or Freddie?
Not just yet. I'll give you a call if I need you.
Oh, okay. I got a message from somebody, sounded awful weird on the phone, said he would be stopping by before the dawn. It seemed kind of strange, but that was the message I was supposed to give you.
Oh. Well, I guess there's business to attend to before I go away then.
Oh, okay. If you need anything, I'll be down here, wrapping up for the night.
Of course, thank you.
It's my pleasure, Miss Stone.
I'm going to prepare a couple things in my office before I go down into the club proper. I'm going to grab a couple changes of clothes and a couple odds and ends.
Okay.
And then I'm going to walk down into the club proper and see if I see anyone that sticks out.
There's really you and Lorenzo who are left in the club at this point. It's pretty late. Dawn's coming pretty soon. And you look around, really all the lights are off, the music's off, everything's been cleaned up, place looks spick and span. It's a pretty dry place right now.
Okay. Well, I guess if I'm going to have a mystery visitor that I don't know, I shouldn't leave just yet, but I am going to prepare one of my other personal vehicles to go somewhere.
Okay.
So it's not one of the Suburbans or anything. It's a sedan.
Okay. So you go out to the parking structure.
Yes.
Go to your personal vehicle, and what is it you're doing?
I'm putting the bag of clothing in my vehicle.
Okay.
And I'm just checking the vehicle over real quick before I go back in, seeing if it should be in good shape. Don't see why it wouldn't be, but you never know. I'm a little sketched out.
To your eyes, it looks perfectly well.
Great. I trust my eyes. All right, then I'm going to go back in and wait and see if anybody shows up.
As you turn to go back, again, you run into an unseeing force, bony structure, unmistakable. Good evening, Miss Stone.
Good evening, Damien.
Your friends have been quite busy.
I've noticed quite a bustle going on across the highway.
Oh, yes. They seem to have made a number of friends.
That is what I'm worried about. I couldn't get a hold of anyone on the phones, so I figured it might be a good idea to make myself scarce.
That's probably not the worst thing you've ever decided.
Thank you, Damien. That's really nice.
I know you seem to be in a hurry, as he kind of looks towards the eastern horizon.
Yes.
So, where do you plan to go?
Well, I do have a home somewhere nearby. I don't really want to
you?
disclose the location because I have purchased it with cash under a different name. It's rather private.
I see. And you'd like to keep it that way, yes?
Yes, I think so.
So it would seem. I have someone I'd like to introduce you to.
Oh,
Maybe in the evening. Time is
Yes.
short.
it is. I just destroyed a previous phone, but I can give you another way to contact me.
I have no need of phones.
All right, then. I guess, where will I be meeting this acquaintance of yours?
I will find you.
Oh, good.
You have a pleasant evening.
I will do what I can. I hope you do as well.
Oh, I certainly will.
And on that note, I'm going to get in my car and snake my way to my secret condo.
He opens and closes the door for you, and by the time the door closes, he is no longer standing there.
Nothing creepy about that at all, I'll say to myself as I start up the vehicle. And I'm going to snake my way to my condo in a way that would be hard to follow.
Zeke,
Yes, sir.
it's a long walk to the compound, or to downtown Manassas, not so bad. Where are you going in Old Town Manassas?
We're gonna see if the therapist office is open, or at least accessible.
It's about 5 a.m. at this point. Probably not.
In that case, we're gonna head to a homeless shelter.
Okay. Not hard to find. There's a couple of them in Old Town.
We're gonna avoid the one that's closest to the Haven Club
Okay.
for reasons,
Okay.
and he will tuck himself into a corner in the shelter.
Are you just there, like Mask of 1,000 Faces, just tucking
Yes.
away into a corner where everybody's bunked in?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Tim, Victor, Sam. What are the three of you doing?
I blinked off into the woods,
Okay.
No.
assuming they're
Me and
following.
Sam drug a
Yeah,
and
we're dragging a body into the
I
woods.
killed that. Yeah, with Chompers 2.0.
Yeah, pretty much.
And a gun.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we do have that one.
it definitely occurs to you three that the sun is coming
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Mhm.
not wasting any time.
So once I make it to the woods, I'm gonna blink back to grab the other Oopsie
Okay.
and drag him to the woods so they can pick up the pace.
All right. So I need you to make 2 rouse checks for your blinking.
How interesting.
I don't get hungry.
Huh.
So yeah, Tim blinks away, carrying Walter Quinn's big walrus-like body. Blinks back, relieves you 2 of the burden of carrying the what's left of whoever this person was. Blinks away again.
Appreciate it, Tim.
Thanks, Tim. And hi, Taylor.
To
I'm
where?
I'm just waiting for them to regroup.
Well, I guess you regroup to where Tim is, and then we decide from there. And we gotta make it quick.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I imagine emergency vehicles are all over the place.
They're slowly making their way off the property.
Well, I do have a apartment under a pseudonym, paper cash, of course, that I can go and stay at for the night.
I don't care where it is, but we need to get there quick.
Right. So I'm taking the lead, and I'm just leading them there. We'll figure out what to do about those 2 after the sun sets. But for right now, that was not a good time to talk.
Sam starts walking off in the direction of one of the nearby townhome complexes where he's procured himself a townhome.
Yep.
I'll follow.
Same.
Okay. The 3 of you get there unaccosted. Sam, I'm assuming that you invite them into your home.
Of course. I'm not leaving them out.
I'm carrying both bodies at this point.
I'm just
Ooh.
eye out. I'm keeping an eye.
Okay, so given the day of the week that it is, you're pretty safe at this time. It's not like commuter DC workers are getting up and piling out of their homes at dark 30. So yeah, the 3 of you make it to Sam's townhome and inside. Tim, of course, bringing one bloody, drippy, goopy mess into your home, leaving a trail of debris, as it were, and one staked Walter Quince.
Yeah, sorry about that, but you and
and we're kind of in a hurry, so yeah. I do have spare phones for y'all if you want to use it.
Do you have a hose? Because I'm pretty sure you don't want this in your doorstep. Yeah.
I have a hose.
So let's go spray this shit down real quick. You know.
I can take Tim around back where there's a garden hose, so you can spray down the body.
As you
debris and everything.
As Tim, I guess you let Tim do the spraying, Mr. Toreador?
I let him do all that. Yeah, I let him do all that.
So yeah, as Tim's
once
hosing,
they're inside, once the bodies are inside, obviously I'm gonna go clean up the trail.
Okay, I got you. I mean, there isn't going to be much of a trail. It's been a while, so coagulation already had blood loss at the back of the Two Silos Club. There's a big mess back there.
Back there's not my problem.
All right. So I'm assuming the 3 of you hunker down for the evening.
Yep.
All right.
Pretty much.
Zeke, you hunker down in the homeless shelter. Virginia, you've made it to your haven, your personal haven.
Yep.
The sun arises. Everyone falls asleep. the deathly sleep that is a vampire's respite, only to be tugged awake by the sun itself lowering once more the next evening. I need all 6 of you to do rouse check, please.
Ooh, nice.
Success.
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 Failure.
Success.
I'm gonna totally jinx myself here and say like I haven't
I got
failed the
hungrier.
rouse yet, but
Yeah.
All right, so
Same.
Annabelle and Tim grow in hunger.
I would like to heal a wound so I can be pretty again.
Okay, go ahead and do your...
Rouse,
Yes, sir.
and I am hungrier.
Okay.
I got down to 1 before.
1 less aggravated wound. You look yourself. The rest of the damage is pretty much internal and not visible beyond a suit.
I
So
also needed to heal.
then, by all means, rouse for healing.
Oh yeah, I forgot you did get photos.
Shot.
Ooh, thank God. Do not get hungrier. So that's 2 superficial, right?
A
Yes.
moment. You have blood potency. What?
2.
Yes.
That should allow you to heal 2 superficial. Yes.
Excellent.
Sorry, I'm
I
a complete
believe that is
Superficial.
correct.
I'm so total noob. Do I get to use my blood potency for the rouse check to wake up, or is that no?
No.
Okay,
Rouse-
just checking.
Yeah, the rouse check is just a rouse check. You open your eyes and you're either hungrier or you're not.
Fair.
Now, blood potency does a number of things. It affects a great deal of things, actually. At blood potency 2, you gain an additional die for discipline powers. You can heal 2 points of superficial damage. You can do a rouse check reroll. Your bane severity isn't too bad yet. And animal or bagged blood can slake half your hunger with blood
So-
potency 2. Which is nothing to sneeze at. In a pinch, you could grab the nearest set of squirrels, rats, deer, what have you, and at least slake half of your hunger.
Redneck dinner.
Can I get me some possums?
There any dogs in this neighborhood, Sam?
More than
I'll
likely.
give you one.
Yeah, they are. There's a couple of strays.
I think you
Moving
might.
on.
I think you might see some missing posters here soon.
They're all strays. You're good.
It's
I raise an eyebrow, and that's all.
the 3 of you awaken Sam's place.
Mhm.
Rouse, I assume, exiting your rooms or whatever
Yeah, whatever
Sam
yeah,
has set up for people.
Yeah, and I go into my second office, and I'm pulling out extra phones.
Okay, so you have a stash of burners.
I have a stash of burners.
Okay. He hands
I give
you.
one to Tim, I give one to Victor, and I hold on to 2. So if I run into Virginia or Zeke, I can give them burner phones.
Okay. Good to know. What are the 3 of you doing? You have a corpse and a staked Bruja Primogen laying in your
Mhm.
living room.
So, Victor,
Change things for the better.
this was an unexpected turn of events. I'm not real upset with how it turned out, but
I'd call it
You're
more of a.
welcome.
I'd call it more of a gift.
who should we gift this particular sack of crap to?
I mean, there is always the option of giving him to Mr. Crowley.
That was my first thought.
I mean, he needed someone of high quality blood, right? So
True.
high quality blood. He gifted himself to us. So let's see if we can see if Mr. Crowley can
That,
use it.
Well,
you know,
he had already told us he is not a friend. So, I don't think it'd be too bad if he ended up missing for a while.
and the added bonus of taking him to the chantry is that if the question of what happened to Mr. Quince becomes directly pointed at a member of our coterie, we can say we were just doing our duty in trying to bring back the missing.
That's right.
Exactly. They can't fault us for it.
I mean, it can't hurt as excuses go.
Do recollect the little meeting that you had with another that has been recently missing, Tim?
Yeah.
That's rather damning on his part. So I think that the best option is to give him to Mr. Crowley.
That's perfect. I like this answer.
That works for me. So
And
how are we getting them
Blood
there?
off our hands.
Yeah.
But the question is, how are we getting them there?
Okay. There's another question that we need to answer. What are we doing with this? And I'm pointing at the what's remaining of a corpse.
I can have that handled as well.
Excellent.
I have to dispose of both of these in a very discreet manner, and I will send a text with my address to my retainer.
Which one?
My butler, to get the vehicle and drive to where I'm at.
Okay. So Sam, the thing that occurs to you is that Victor is calling a driver to your otherwise unknown Haven's location.
Yeah.
I will pay for you to acquire a new location, as is, I would assume this is compromised as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Victor. Thank you.
I'll get you some money soon.
Well, I appreciate it. But should we find the remaining members of our coterie?
I think we do need to find Virginia.
Well, we're probably not going to see Zeke for 3 days. If you recall, after we crushed our phones, we set a meeting at the Manassas battlefield at 3 a.m.
Right.
Take care of this first.
Yes, we have 2 days before that's an issue. And I'm not real sure he's going to be welcome around the chantry anyway.
Yeah. Let's not have him show up there. But yeah, we can take care of these two first, then go find Virginia, because I think she might have crushed her phone if she saw what happened wherever she was at. She saw what happened. She might have did what we did.
She may have.
And if she did, that's one less thing we have to worry about.
Yes. We're going to have to find more discreet ways to communicate.
Yeah.
Virginia. The sun leaves. Twilight drags you from your slumber. And you are definitely not at the Haven Club. You are in familiar surroundings at your personal haven.
I guess the first thing I do as soon as I rouse is I'm going to send Sam an email.
Okay.
It's not going to contain any big details. I'm just going to say something like, "Hey, just checking in, giving you all the numbers from last night at the club. Hope everything went well on your business. I'm going to ask him to meet me somewhere. I guess it would be pertinent to our past if we had met somewhere in Manassas. Just trying to think of where that would be. without like giving it away totally. Say something like, "Oh, remember that time where we were
The Hilton
watching
School
those
of Performing
pigeons?"
Arts?
Yes, something like that. Very vague, but something that he would know, I guess. If that makes any sense.
Sure, that could actually be in the middle of Old Town Manassas near the train station where they usually have an ice rink this time of year, but because of COVID, it's not there. But they have the great big love letters that everybody gets, snapshots at.
Yeah.
And there's an old train caboose sitting there that people get pictures on and things like that.
So
but
that's
it is in the heart of
what I'm
Old Town
alluding to.
Manassas.
I'll allude to that location then.
Excellent. Zeke.
Yes.
You open your eyes and you are not in the shelter.
Okay.
You also notice that you seem to be strapped down.
Oh, boy.
Arms, legs, and head have been restrained.
Okay.
As you open your eyes and look around, the room seems clinical. It is stainless steel from top to bottom. There's a protected dome camera in the opposite corner from you at the ceiling height. You can't be sure where it's pointed, but 2 and 2 equals 4 every time.
Yes.
There seems to be one wall to your left that's a very large mirror. Again, 2 and 2 equals 4. It's probably not a mirror.
It's 2-way at the minimum.
And there's a door somewhere off past your feet. Hard to make it out because you can't lift your head.
No.
At least at the moment, unless you were to try and break your restraints. But it's clear you have woken up in a place that you weren't when you went to sleep.
That was a risk I had to take.
Your beast pokes you in the back of the eyeballs. Where the fuck are we? What do you do? What did you get us into? Get me the fuck out of here. Now. Get us out of here. Now. 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 And this echoes in your head repeatedly. Over and over. It would nearly be an act of willpower to shut your beast up right now. It is threatening to frenzy. You can feel it.
What we're gonna try the willpower to get it to shut up so we get to think.
You can feel that tinge of fright. You're in an unknown place. You are locked in. You don't know how you got here or who's got you. You don't know what's going on. So a simple willpower roll will prevent you from frenzying right here and now.
There we go. 4 successes.
That will be enough for you to quiet the screaming beast who cannot stand to be caged. And that's what this is. It's a cage. There's no way around it. This is an unnamed, unlabeled cage.
Yes.
You calm down enough and feel something at the side of your neck. You shake your head a little and you get the sensation of something dangling there. you can't see it. You kind of think that it probably is hanging behind you somehow. Further investigation, if you roll wits and awareness, please.
Yes. That is 6 successes.
Almost perfectly into your jugular vein, you can feel the cold shaft of a very large needle. It's there. You can almost feel the adhesion of tape pulling at your skin. You don't really get the sensation that something's moving in or out, but you gather there's a needle in your neck.
Does it feel like it would be the similar size to what he saw Soraka have?
There's no way for you to know.
Okay. I didn't know if I could judge by the weight or...
But your experience tells you that you probably have a butterfly cannula taped to your neck into your jugular.
Okay.
And the whatever was dangling and bouncing off of your side of your neck was probably some kind of surgical tubing.
Makes sense at this point. I'm going to try to remain calm and just analyze the situation. I've been kidnapped. They are draining and or putting something into me, perhaps. And I don't know where the hell I am. We're going to test the strength of the restraints.
And how would you like to do that? Just pulling against them or using vampiric strength? What are you doing?
We're just gonna you do what a normal human's worth of strength would be, and just kind of like try to wriggle back and forth to see if they even
restraining your vampiric prowess. When you try and lift your head, you feel that you are it's a strong restraint.
Okay.
Trying to lift your arms or legs gives the similar result. You can't tell if it's leather or metal. It's there's something, whatever's touching your skin is probably not the same material that is restraining you.
Okay.
But you can definitely tell that you're on some kind of steel table. It's metal. It's cold.
All right. We're gonna remain passive for now.
Okay. Annabelle.
Yes.
You awaken in the gritty little apartment that was provided to you. It's another place in Old Town Manassas, not too far from the railroad tracks. It's kind of a 6-bedroom or a 6-apartment building, just 6 apartments, that's it. It was described to you as a Section 8 subsidized housing unit. It was enough. It keeps the sun out, gives you a place to stay out of the weather and rain. It's very bare. There's like a little kitchenette. There's a small, round, beat-up table with 1 chair. In the main living room, there's a small coffee table and a beat-up, ragged-looking love seat. The bedroom is pretty much a mattress on a floor. And that's about it. There's an old beat up dresser that has like 2 drawers that are half hanging out, don't actually close properly. And this is where you wake.
Annabelle you know what? Annabelle was probably sleeping in the bathtub with the door to the bathroom closed. So
that's fine.
So she's gonna kind of like pop herself, out of the bathtub.
You walk out into the bedroom. The only bathroom in this 1-bedroom apartment is part of the main bedroom. Mm-hmm. And there's the mattress, the broken dresser, a small closet, and a door heading out into the living room, as it were, for lack of a better description.
I don't have a phone or anything. I don't know.
Nope.
Probably
this place has no TV.
Down. Well, yeah.
There's really nothing here. There's not even food in the cupboards.
I think I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go for a walk. So
as you walk out into the apartment's living room, on the coffee table is probably the most gorgeous dozen red roses you've ever seen, immaculately trimmed and laying on a red velvet little square of fabric with a note.
Okay. I'm going to read the note then.
It simply says, "Good morning, child. 3 a.m. battlefield."
Would I know the battlefield without any other information?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I'm just making sure.
Bull Run Battlefield is pretty much the one thing that Manassas has going for it.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I don't out of character, I don't know the area, so that's why I was asking. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to tear the card up, the little card, and I'm going to leave the roses there, and then I'm going to go for a walk.
Excellent. You exit out of the small apartment building. Off to your left, is another housing development. Off to your right, there's one of the oldest homes in Manassas. It's a 3-story brick building. It's been there forever. It's been for sale for about 22 years. It's always had a for sale sign in the iron gate yard that surrounds it. No one has ever bought it. It's still there, and it's actually upkept by the current owner, but it's just one of those quirky things in Old Town Manassas. It's the house that's always for sale.
Yeah, I'm gonna make note of that house because we'll see.
That all the draw of the area are, at least in Old Town Manassas, is like the Three Monkeys, where the Bruges are known to hang out, and some anarchs that's where they kind of call home. There's the 2 silos that the known venture of the area have some kind of interest in. You've heard about the New Haven Club that the Toreadors have put up. Most of the goings-ons in the area. You've been out of town for a while, but it's not that you haven't kept in touch.
Okay.
Shreknet might be officially dead, but it's not dead.
Because of the roses, I think of the Toreador, and it just makes me laugh a little bit to myself. And so is it walkable for me to get to the Haven Club, or do I need to catch a ride?
From where you're at, it's like 3 or 4 miles. It's not that far.
I'm gonna walk it. I could use the exercise, the fresh air.
Going out at this time of night, 8:30, something like that. Old Town Manassas, there's people going in and out of restaurants. It's pretty lively for a town like this. There's plenty of people here and there.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in the people, so.
Fair. That's very fair. But yeah, the 2 silos is within walking distance. The 3 monkeys is in walking distance. The Haven Club is in walking distance.
Yeah. Like I said, I want some fresh air, so I'm gonna start walking towards the Haven Club for now.
Okay.
So
not a problem. Miss Virginia Stone.
Yes.
Your email went out. You have no idea if it's been read or seen. What are you doing?
I'm also going to send a similar one to Victor and
Okay.
hope that he checks his emails.
Roger that.
And tell him that allude to an email to Sam.
Okay.
And not really give much of an explanation, just checking in with him.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go and go to the spot that I specified. So I'm have a mask on because COVID.
Okay.
And a nice bulky kind of winterish fall jacket.
All right.
I wouldn't be really recognizable. You don't see very much of my face.
Roger that. Tim, Sam, Victor.
Well, first thing I do, I hear a ding, I stop.
Have you reprogrammed a burner phone to get your email?
No, I have a little laptop in my second office.
Okay. Fair enough.
I haven't reprogrammed the phones yet
Sure.
or anything very major. So I walk back to the office and I see an email from Virginia. Glad that she's okay. And she alludes to the location that she wants to meet up at. And I take a copy of the email. I delete it.
Okay.
But just in case this place does become compromised, I can have my email deleted so that way they won't know that she sent anything. And I walk back out to Tim and Victor. So Virginia contacted me. She's okay. I got to go meet up with her. Are you guys able to handle this? Or do you guys?
Whoa, where are you going to meet up with her?
No, Performing Arts Studio in Old Town Manassas.
Okay, that's fine. Not at the club or anything, right?
No. All Performing Arts. Building.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's all I was worried about.
Center for Performing Arts is on 234 Bypass, not far from 2 Silos or the Haven Club.
Yeah, I'm avoiding the club and 2 Silos for right now.
Sure.
That would be very much advised.
Yeah, I will take Virginia's burner phone. I can give it to her in person. And we'll find a way to meet you two at the Chantry.
Sounds good. Victor, looks like I'm riding with you, buddy.
No problem.
So I grab everything is burner phone, and I grab a little winter coat and a mask because, well, why not? And I say, we'll meet you two at the Chantry, and good luck. And that's when I head out.
Victor and Tim, it's not long before a vehicle arrives. Though there's a front door and a back door. The back of Sam's house, though, it's fenced in and backs up to another row of townhouses. So it's not like somebody's going to drive around back. Mm-hmm. There is a garage attached to the townhouse, so there is that. But yeah, driver.
Yeah, let's have him pull in the garage.
Driver shows up with a small van, like almost like a U-Haul. Knocks on the door.
Victor, you probably want to get that.
I'll go to the door. Does that have a peephole at the door?
Oh yeah.
I'll look through the peephole.
It's not who you're expecting, but it's a well-dressed person wearing a suit, got a nice jacket over the suit. You haven't seen him before, but he's already backed the truck up to the garage door, and he's just kind of standing at the door waiting.
I'll open the door.
You Are you Victor Costa?
Yes.
I was told to bring a truck around and pick you up.
Yes.
Truck's here. You ready to go?
Give me just a moment.
Sure. Take your time.
All right. So I'll close the door.
Victor, it didn't
Truck's
seem
here.
like he knew you. Then perhaps he should leave the vehicle and get a cab.
Oh. Already planned on that. An Uber. I'll even pay for it. So,
Well, if
I'll get on
uh,
and
if you
order
want to
it
take care of
because
that, I'll back it into the garage, and I'm going to head down to the garage and open it and back the vehicle in.
You're not going to back this moving van into the garage, but you can back right up to it,
Yeah.
which he's already done.
Oh, okay. So I'll
ahead.
open the garage door and
Hey, you
Are there-
you need a hand?
no, we're good.
You sure?
And I'll be talking to the guy to take off his occupation of looking at Mr. Tim.
Oh, right. So I'll just get back in and drive then?
No, you'll be getting a ride wherever you need to.
Oh. Okay. Sure. Sure. I'll just call a cab, no problem.
I have an Uber on the way already. It's already paid for.
Oh. Well, thank you, sir. They said you would be nice.
I'll try.
Well, here's the key.
Thank you. You have a good evening.
Will do, sir. I guess that's it. See you when the car gets here.
All righty.
Have a good night, boss.
Yeah, you too.
Are there lights in the garage?
Yeah.
Can I turn them off, or are they motion with the garage door opener?
Second you pop a garage, they turn on.
Okay, I'm gonna remove the bulbs from the garage door opener.
Switches on the wall. But yeah, the garage door opener itself has bulbs.
Yes, I want it to be like blackout
Okay.
conditions.
Yeah.
That's okay. Second, I'm gonna look around the house. Do I find any sheets, blankets, that sort of thing?
I
Even trash
imagine
bag.
I imagine Sam has pretty nice sheets.
Well, it looks like we're gonna have to buy him some new ones because I'm about to fuck him up.
I'm already getting him a new place. It'll be enough to.
Yeah, that
most
seems
of
fair.
them are like Egyptian cotton,
That's exactly what I was picturing.
imported silk.
3,000 thread count.
You know, Victor, I'm fine with these nice sheets on the one guy, but do we have some like burlap for Walter?
I was thinking the same thing. Do we have trash bags? Just put them in trash bags.
There's probably trash bags under a kitchen sink somewhere.
Good luck finding a
Perfect.
trash
I'm gonna
bag
put
big
one
enough.
over his head and one under his feet,
And
and I'm gonna carry him out. Yeah, and I'm gonna cinch him, and I'm gonna carry him out to the truck and throw
Are
him
his
back.
eyes open? Still.
Oh yeah, he has a look of
Okay, before that happens, I'm going to slap him again. You're going with us.
There is no response from the staked Walter Quince.
Oh man.
There is a glint of fire in his eyes.
Good.
So yeah, Tim, you black out the garage, wrap up the bloody mess of corpse, and load the trash, as it were.
Cautious to make sure no one sees.
Yeah.
As one would generally assume when handling corpses.
Yeah.
Sure. Although if people are handling corpses, I'm pretty sure that's not a general thing you do. But
well, I mean,
you
it's going to be disposed of.
All right, so
Bruja gonna bruja. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Venture gonna venture.
You guys get loaded up. Your Uber shows up. The guy gets in without another word spoken to you all, and he disappears into the night, going wherever it is that he's going.
You want to drive, Tim?
I mean, I guess.
I hand him the keys. I'll tell you where to go.
All right, let's get this shit show on the road.
I sent a text to my other retainer. I'm on the way for disposal.
And where are you headed?
To where my mortician friend works.
Gotcha. So the hospital.
Sure.
You said it's a moving van or a small van?
It's a small van. It's
okay,
like
so
a
like
U-Haul.
a panel van?
No, it's like one of those $19 a day U-Hauls, just without all the U-Haul on it.
Okay.
It's basically
they're day van.
a white. It's like a construction worker's van.
It's a white panel van. Yeah. Okay.
That.
I gotcha. So as nondescript as we can get. Sounds good. All right. I was worried about
pretty basic.
Carrying bodies around in a big box. So,
yeah, kind of bad.
All right. Well, let's go.
Yep. So I tell Tim to where to go.
I follow directions.
He's pointing you in the direction of the Prince William Hospital.
And I'll take, of course, the more discreet contractor and whatnot access that I'd imagine that they have.
Well, the hospital sits on its own property, basically, is surrounded by medical clinics, medical buildings, and they have the different departments of the hospital. The mortuary / morgue is near the emergency room, but on another corner of the building and down one level. So it's almost like a sub-level that was dug out, or not dug out, but built in. But yeah, there's a ramp going down towards the mortuary morgue loading dock.
I'll back down to the dock.
Yeah.
Back up to the dock.
Okay.
I'll get out and I'll go down. Just wait here for a moment.
Roger
and I'll
that.
go down.
Now, Victor, we have a name for this person, don't we?
It's on the map. I don't remember it though.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no.
Probably something like Chuck's Mortuary Services. You snuff them, we chuck them.
No, it's a regular name. It's nothing crazy.
I'm disappointed.
This is your retainer. You don't know his name?
I don't remember because I didn't plan on using him this soon. And remember, the power's out. So kind of just stuck on the phone.
So Charles it is. At least for the time
Charles
being.
is fine.
Another Charles.
Is he in charge? I just want to know, is he in charge?
Of course he is.
Over days and our nights.
Charles actually standing out back of the morgue, leaned up against one wall, smoking a cigarette. He doesn't even bat an eye when the truck rolls up. He looks like this is something he's done before.
Mm-hmm. Of course, me being Victor, I always have some cash on me.
Now, he's not dressed in any kind of suit, but he doesn't look like a schmuck either.
Yeah. I have an envelope. It's going to have about $5,000 because I keep about $5,000 to $10,000 on me just in case.
And you just hand it over to him?
And hand it over to him.
He holds it for a moment, looks at the envelope, kind of bounces it in his hand, weighs it, tucks it into his jacket. So, what you got for me, Victor?
You do have cremation services, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Is that what you need done?
Yeah. You can.
Where's the stiff?
By the loading dock.
Yeah, we're standing on it. I'm assuming it's in that van of yours that you just backed up?
Yeah.
Tim, have you gotten out of the vehicle yet?
No, I'm still sitting in the vehicle.
Okay.
But I hear them, I see them talking in the side view, and I'm going to pop out and come up in the back.
Oh, you're a big fella, ain't you?
I eat my vegetables.
Cool. You're stiff in the back. You want to unlock it and open it up?
Yeah, I got it here.
Cool.
And I'm going to pull out the sheet and hand him over.
He kind of looks where somebody's head or face might be and notices the nothing but wet on the sheet. He goes, ooh.
Yeah, he didn't eat his vegetables.
Yeah. He ate something. What was it, a grenade?
Sure wasn't Flutie Flakes.
I got a gurney right here. Hold on. He walks back to the door, pops it open, rolls the gurney out and pulls it down. He says, load her up. Let's go. You should see the stiff they brought in here this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
Bunch of suits all happy about it. I don't know.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. So he helps you and loads the corpse onto the gurney and starts rolling it in through a couple of double doors.
You get any pictures of that stiff that the suits were all happy about? Just curious.
Not me personally, but I'm sure they did. It was some John Doe they brought in from some homeless shelter. But that was the day shift. The guy that I just relieved was telling me about it.
Good to know.
Yeah, you want to see it?
Sure.
Cool. You're going to like this. It's kind of cool. So he rolls the gurney in, walks down a slow hallway, kind of just pushes it past a pair of double doors into the crematorium. Just kind of lets it just roll in there, forgets about it. It's right over here. Walks a little bit further down the hallway. Says, come on in. Opens the door.
I'm going to blush a life.
Okay. Go ahead and rouse.
Yeah.
I do not get hungry.
I think that'd be a good idea, too.
Okay.
I'm good. Thank God.
See, goes into this darkened room, lets you guys in. He says, I haven't got a key, but check this out. He pushes a little button and some lights change the opacity of the glass. And the room is perfectly clinically clean stainless steel everywhere. And there's literally one Ezekiel Ephraim White strapped to a table with an embalming needle stuck into his neck. Clearly attached to an embalming pump with tanks of fluids that are apparently been pumped into his body or not. You don't know. He's unmoving. There's no audio. There's no like push button. This looks like a clinical viewing room for an autopsy.
Well, Victor, that's the most interesting thing I've seen today.
I would agree with you. That is really interesting.
He is barely covered in a hospital sheet. No apparent clothing and a toe tag.
Is there glass? Like the glass window, right?
Well, it appears to be.
I'm going to knock, shave, and a haircut on it. And that's it.
Zeke, you hear?
So I hear shaving a haircut 2 bits.
Well, you don't hear the 2 bits part, but you hear the dun 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 on the from somewhere in the room. You hear this.
Is my hand visible?
To you, not really. Your head is strapped back to a table.
No, hand, not head.
Right, but you can't see your hand because your head is like literally strapped to a table.
You could feel the sheet on it, though.
Could I feel the table and the sheet?
Oh yeah,
is more what I'm getting at.
Absolutely.
Then I'm gonna attempt to tap out the 2 bits part with as much mobility as I can on the table.
So you like ball up a fist and knock on the table?
Just quick.
Holy shit! Did you see that?
Yeah,
Did you see that
weird.
fucking corpse move? Dude, I gotta go get somebody. They can't be putting embalming shit in a Dude, he just knocked on the table. You saw that. I'll be right back. Y'all got to get out of here because if they find someone in here, that's my fucking job. I'll be back. And he turns and rushes for the door.
You know, I didn't think he was going to answer.
But of course, I'm waiting until my guy leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. He gets out and runs.
As will, I believe, me and Mr. Toon.
Yep.
Time to go to the truck.
Yep. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Zeke, you hear nothing. The room is completely quiet.
I will do a shave and a haircut one more time.
You hear
and
shave and a haircut.
Yep.
Instead of responding with 2 bits, we're going to attempt to Morse code out the word help.
Do you know Morse code?
Dot dot dash 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 dot 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 dot.
Yeah.
Dot dash 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 dot dot.
Short, long.
Yeah.
Short.
All you damn metagamers.
No.
Oh, please. Like someone who's been alive for however many years doesn't know SOS in Morse code.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah.
I'd
say yeah.
You see him ball up his fist again and starts tapping on the table.
Should we do something about this?
I think he's got it once he's relieved.
Oh, you think so? All right.
Well, I mean,
I don't think helping is going to make it any better.
I think it is.
Yeah, me neither.
I think it is. I don't want to be around.
Yeah, me neither. So what do you say we make like a tree and get the fuck out of here?
Yes.
Roger that. Let's roll.
And dip to the truck.
You don't hear anything, Zeke. There's just no sound coming in. Not that you're aware of.
All right. Well, obviously, my shave and haircut 2 bits routine has made people, from what I can probably understand, very anxious if they're watching. He's paranoid enough to know that people are probably watching him. 2 and 2, 4, 16, 18.
Something like that.
Yes. And we're gonna wait till No, we're not gonna wait. We're gonna attempt to bust out using our strength.
Okay. So what do you do?
We're gonna try to first free our hands if we can.
Okay. Strength and brawl.
Okay. That is 2, and brawl is 0, so that's 2. That is 2 successes.
2 successes is enough for you to rip leather restraints from a steel table. You free your left hand.
All right, we're gonna work on getting the other hand free, but leaving the head attached.
All right. It really, it doesn't take you much. You've seen restraints before. They're big buckles. It doesn't take you long to get your right hand freed.
Okay. Any noises from the room or
Nope,
adjacent? Nothing.
not yet.
Not yet. We're gonna loosen the head restraint,
Okay.
but try to make it obvious that it wasn't loosened.
Okay. Then what?
Kind of just kind of like loosen the belt just slightly.
It's
If it
it's
isn't
a belt with holes and a tongue that goes into the hole and locks it in.
Okay, then in that place, no, we're not going to do that. We will instead wait for our moment to spring free.
So you're leaving your head and your legs strapped in.
I don't know if I could actually bend that far to get to the legs.
You could if you let your head free.
You know what? We will do that. We will free our entire body.
Okay. So
Fair enough. I mean, hey, first attempt to escape.
you figure it out. You free your head, bend forward, noticing the sheet drop. You see that you are buck naked, and you release the straps on your ankles.
Okay. I'll take stock of the room.
Stock of the room. Off to the left, up behind where your head was, is a strange apparatus, a machine with a surgical tubing coming out of it and heading towards your neck.
Anything else in the room, or is it just the
Not
machine
really.
and
It is an autopsy table that has restraints to keep a corpse from moving while people do their thing. They haven't brought any surgical tools into the room yet, other than to have the prep for embalming.
Okay, I'm gonna get a better look at that mirror, or what I can assume is that mirror.
As far as you can tell, it's a mirror.
How flimsy does it seem?
It doesn't. You tap on it, seems pretty solid.
Okay. Well, in this case, we're gonna. We're gonna take stock and return to the table. Not lay down on it, just kind of get ready to use it as a weapon if need be.
You notice that you can't move too far around this room without that tug at your neck.
Yeah. Without knowing what that is, I'm not going to remove it.
Okay.
Just yet.
Okay. Virginia.
Yes.
Sam, you didn't send a reply email, right?
Nope, I ain't said that. I just told Vincent where I was going and started walking.
And I wouldn't have looked.
Okay. So you picked a night. There isn't actually any performances at the Hilton Center. There's the normal George Washington University kids coming in and out because this is one of the satellite schools. There's not too many at this time of night. Everybody's kind of heading towards town or toward one of the hot spots around, or just getting the hell out of Prince William to head to DC or whatever. So there you are. You're standing out front of the Hilton School of Performing Arts.
I'm going to find a bench, and I'm going to have a sit and pull out a book to read.
Okay.
And the book will have a rose book cover on it.
Okay.
And that's
Sam?
how I'm just gonna sit there and wait.
It does not take long for you to either get an Uber or a taxi over there.
Mm-hmm.
You get dropped off in the little U-shaped roundabout that's at the front of the Hilton School of Performing Arts. There's a few students here and there. There's a small strip of businesses off to one side. There's like a Thai restaurant there, a couple of medical offices. Not much really going on. Again, COVID's got everything shut down. Looking around, taking stock. There is a person sitting at a bench reading a book.
I assume it's Virginia. I would start humming a familiar tune that only she will recognize.
Like one of her jazz songs?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll look up and I'll nod to him and pat the bench.
I nod and I walk over to the bench and I sit next to her.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm assuming some shit went down last night.
Tell me about it. Walter Quince decided to show up last night.
I think we should discuss this somewhere else.
Agreed. But I do slip her the burner phone. So she has that.
I pull out my own burner phone. I say thank you. I am always prepared.
Aren't we always?
So, I can go grab my vehicle. I didn't call the gentleman in. I figure the less people we involve, the better.
Sounds good to me.
So come, let's go have a sit.
And I follow right behind her, and we go have a sit.
Where are you going?
Going to my car.
Okay. Yep, not that far a walk away. Unlocks the doors. You guys get in.
So, where are we going this evening?
The Chantry. I'll explain on the way.
All right, I'm going to start driving.
Are you just straight up driving the two of you to the Chantry?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
I'm a little down to business.
Yeah, and I tell her, yeah, so Walter Quince showed up last night.
Well, that's interesting.
Somehow someone told him that we had Fiona.
He's a snaky bastard, that Walter Quince. I'm not surprised. He's got feelers everywhere.
Yeah, well, he ain't gonna have feelers no more after we're done with him. He is staked as of right now.
Staked, huh?
Yep.
Well, that's interesting news.
Yeah, and we're taking him to the Chantry since, well, you know how Mr. Crowley feels about Mr. Quince.
Yes, this is very interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to meet there, and then I guess in 2 more days we're going to the monument. There's the battlefield, and we'll all meet up there.
Fair enough. All right. I guess we'd best get going along then. I assume there's quite a bit of business that needs attending to if you have a staked individual like you say.
Yeah, there is a lot of business involved tonight.
I assume you have a safe place that you've been staying. I think it's probably best if we aren't staying together at this point in time.
Yeah, but it's been compromised because we had to drag his acquaintance to my place too, and so we had to offer to buy my new place. So there's that. So there's that. I'm fine.
All right. Well, I guess we'd best get going and see what the rest of the evening has in store for us.
I agree. But I did get your email about the numbers, by the way.
I mean, that was part of the email, but that wasn't the intention. I just
No. I got the whole email, and I made a copy, and I deleted the original, just in
Good
case
plan.
something does happen. They get my laptop.
That's a good idea. All right. And Virginia is driving.
Roger that. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, Zeke, there's the sound.
Yes.
There's the sound of keys in a door.
Okay.
Door unlocks. You can hear the door open. You can see two people in scrubs come in. As your eyes are open, they're looking at the ground where the sheet is that was previously covering your body.
Yes.
One of them realizes that there's no longer restraints attached to your limbs.
Correct.
There's a gasp of breath, and loud, excited voices begin to yell out. And we're going to take our first pause for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, we're going to take a brief break. You got 5 to 7 minutes where we're going to all stretch our legs, go to the little boys and girls rooms, whatever's necessary, grab a little snack and a bite to eat, and we will be back live in a very short moment. Thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on our return. We'll be right back.
Hopefully that didn't go on Twitter.
No, he didn't send them.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you to those who have joined us during our intervention. I heard my echoing face in the Twitch. Had to mute it. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us, those who have joined us. Please do give us a follow. We appreciate it. We're trying to get to 50 at some point. And we are back. Zeke.
Yes.
Not so strapped to a table, buck naked with a toe tag on, a needle and surgical tubing sticking out of your neck.
Yes.
2 orderlies in scrubs. Rather excited to see you unstrapped. Begin to yell. One of them grabs a microphone that's kind of on his collarboard. We have a code blue in the morgue. We got a code blue in the morgue. The other one rushes over to you, puts a finger, 2 pair of fingers to your neck, feeling for a pulse where there is none.
We're gonna blush of life.
Okay, rouse, please.
Yep. Success.
Okay. Color returns to the horror. The face begins to fill with blood in the capillaries. Suddenly, there's a pulse at your neck as the orderly quickly checks his fingers again on your jugular and carotid. He's checking both sides at this point because he's not sure what he just sensed. He's breathing! He's breathing! Get some crash cart in here now! The other guy rushes out of the room. Door shuts behind him. And you're there with a guy starts smacking your face. Hey! 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 Wake up! Wake up! Hey, you okay? You can feel him yank the needle out of your neck.
Good.
Ah! What?
Thank you.
Oh my God!
Thank you. What?
Oh my! Are you okay? You were dead.
Was I?
Dead. Like dead. You were. There's, dude. Just lay back, please. He bends over to grab the sheet and politely covers you as best he can. Are you okay?
What? Where am I?
You're. He looks around. You're in the morgue.
I see.
What's your name?
Julius.
Are you okay, Julius? Are you?
Yeah.
There's no way you can be alive right now. You've been dead. You were brought in here DOA, dead.
Well, I don't remember what happened after the accident.
Beast snacks up in your back of your brain. Looks like the buffet got provided. We need to get out of here. This fucking cage is driving me insane. Take his clothes. Kill him. Let's go.
At the instance of the word kill, we're going to shout back mentally, no.
Get out of here.
Yes. I'm going to then use Mesmerize.
Oh, you could definitely have his full attention.
I'm going to ask him, could I borrow your clothing?
All right, rouse, please.
Yep. Oh, sorry, there's a blank on the die. Yep, that's a success.
So Mesmerize gives you the ability to issue a complex command.
You will strip, give me your clothes, and lead me out of here.
Right. What was I thinking? You're naked. And he starts to take his clothes off and hands over his scrubs.
I will put his scrubs on one at a time. I will make sure that I have his face covering securely on. If he has one of those caps, like the personal protective, like
He's
hair
got
covering,
he's got a hair covering on.
I'll take that as well.
Okay.
I will pull that as close to my eye line as possible.
Okay. He starts half nakedly in his boxers and Crocs, opening the door and walking out.
I'll follow him to the end.
He looks up and down both directions in the hallway and literally goes for the nearest exit sign, which is towards the loading dock of the morgue.
I will thank him. Is it unlocked?
Oh, he opens the door. There's a door and then there's the loading dock. He just opens the door.
The second I get through the threshold of the door, I'll stare him straight in the eyes again.
Okay.
Forget I was here. I'll use forget cloud memory.
His eyes kind of glaze a little bit, and he just kind of stands there, kind of looking past you, kind of a 1,000-yard stare.
At this point, we are taking our newfound clothes, our newfound identity, and we are walking the hell away from here as fast as possible. Actually, at a non-suspicious pace, getting far enough away from any sort of camera, any sort of eyeing view, and we are dipping out of here with unseen passage.
In that order?
In that order.
Okay. You make it to the little parking area that's behind the hospital, the little street. There's a little stair going down an embankment to a little parking area lower down that's kind of out of video shot from any of the hospital cameras.
Yep.
You activate unseen passage and rouse, please.
Correct. We are good.
And you're disappeared from sight.
Yes. At this point, Zeke would try to think of places where the group may have gone, or at least the group may have tried to relocate.
Probably the only thing that would come to mind would probably be the Haven Club,
which may or may not be compromised.
You have no idea.
We are...
everybody made a rapid exit from 2 silos, and that's about what you know.
Yes.
Will that end our meeting point in 2 days?
Yes. Which is the park?
The battlefield.
The battlefield. We are going to... We're gonna go buy some clothes. Maybe the guy's wallet's in the clothing that he left for Zeke.
There's scrubs. You pat around the pockets. There's like a reflex hammer. There's a hospital ID badge. There's a couple of pens and what looks like what you could guess is a hospital pager.
Interesting. We will take the reflexive hammer, any sort of medical tools.
Yeah, that's the only one. It's a simple reflex hammer.
We will put that in a pocket, very comfortable to, grab in case we need a weapon. And we're going to head over toward the battlefield.
Okay. Off you walk, unseen from prying eyes. It's a fair hike to the battlefield. You're going to be a minute.
Fine. we need some time to think.
Annabelle. Walking around Old Town Manassas, taking in the sights. Been away for a number of months. Probably none of the real disappearances occurred before you left. So you've been away a good 5 or 6 months at this point. You heading in any particular direction or going anywhere?
Is there any is there any open cafes or anything kind of like they have maybe outdoor seating kind of deals or something?
Not really in Old Town. They do at the Three Monkeys bar where Bruja are known to hang out, some anarchs. The Two Silos Brewery has a big outdoor venue, lots of outdoor seating. They got like the little half globes, snow globes, that people can reserve and sit in a nice heated little bubble, as it were.
Gotcha. Shoot. I was kind of hoping to see if there was maybe like a newspaper laying around somewhere.
Sure. There's the local Manassas Times. It's a small local paper. They have like little you head up towards Old Town. There's a 7-Eleven there. They have like the little newspaper dispensers.
I'm going to. I don't have any cash on me, so
The
never
local
mind.
Manassas newspaper is actually free. It simply says pull.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then
So
I
you
will
pull the door open and there's a stack of papers in there.
Yeah, I'll grab one of them. I just want to flip through it, see if there's any news on anything on any of the comings and goings in town, since I have been away. So
there is news of an attempted arson the night previous at the Two Silos Brewery. A little short article. It's got a picture of the Two Silos and everything, and simply states that authorities were called. There was the fire was put out by the building's fire suppression system. No injuries reported. Owner can't be reached for comment. Local authorities aren't saying anything. There's an article in there about the opening of the New Haven Club, which is probably one of the most upscale places that's ever been built in Prince William County, let alone Manassas. You would know it definitely as Kindred Hotspot. It was in planning stages before you left.
I gotcha. What time is it?
Probably about 9:30.
Okay.
It's early.
Shoot. Sorry, I'm still getting used to my character sheet, so I'm trying to decide what I want to do or what I have the abilities to do. Yeah, I think, you know what? I don't want to be late since I've obviously been, I know I've been summoned and I have a pretty good idea by who. And so I want to make a good impression by showing up early. So I'm actually going to head towards the battlefield myself.
You turn away from the little newspaper box and what, for lack of a better term, a bag lady approaches you. She looks exactly what you would expect a homeless bag lady to look like. She's not pushing a cart, but she's wearing too many layers of clothing. But her face is nondescript.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you headed, dear?
Just out for a walk tonight. Can I help you with something?
Oh, I thought you might like the company. The voice starts to sound a little more familiar.
Oh.
On second glance, the voice sounds like Kyla Lupo, the Nosferatu Primogen. She doesn't look like her, but it's definitely her voice. Where you been? Annabelle?
just I've had to take a trip, go out, be away from here for a bit. So
strange thing. You go on a trip, all these people disappear. You get back from a trip, more people disappear. Really coincidental.
Well,
must have been a great trip.
Oh, the trip was nice, but I don't appreciate the accusation on your part. So
I made no accusation. I just said there were simply coincidences.
Yes. Well, you know what I'm saying.
I would never accuse you of something you didn't do.
Well, then why is it funny that people are disappearing when I leave and disappearing when I come back?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. It's a joke I've never heard the punchline to, so.
I haven't yet either, but I can't wait.
Yeah, well.
So, where are you headed?
I have a summons from a close friend.
A summons?
So, yes.
That sounds serious.
Well, it's always so serious as soon as the sun goes down. So
true. Did you hear the fat bastard disappeared last night?
No, I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, welcome back to the shit show.
Jeez. Yeah, unfortunately, waking up in a bathtub, my information wasn't too fresh. So,
well, strange thing, I saw you looking at the paper, so you saw that article.
Yeah, about the 2 silos.
Yeah. Have you met the owner yet?
No, I haven't had the pleasure.
Interesting guy.
Interesting. Or...
His name is Victor. Strange though. Fat bastard was on his way to meet with him.
Oh.
Actually took the sheriff with him. Haven't heard from her yet. Haven't seen her either.
Well.
And then all of a sudden, there's arson. Fire.
Ramona is kind of flaky, so it's not a surprise you haven't heard from her. But I don't know anything about any of this, unfortunately, or else I would be more than willing to, let you know what I knew. So, as a courtesy to your position. So,
yeah, our people know what's going on around here. At least we try to. So why don't I go with you wherever you're headed?
I'm not sure if... I don't know if guests are allowed, honestly. So, I mean, but I would be hard pressed to refuse you to offer you to tag along. So
company's a good thing. There's strength in numbers.
True. I probably don't need the strength, but you're always... I suppose maybe we can get to the you can get to the bottom of where your sheriff is run off to, and maybe I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going to go on at this meeting. So
interesting.
If you don't mind, okay, yeah. If you don't mind hanging out at the old battlefield, you can come with me. So
the battlefield.
Yeah.
Go to the battlefield? It's an interesting place to have a meeting. There's like nothing there. There's like an old house, a bunch of cannons. There's like a little visitor center and then a bunch of battlefield.
Yes, but you know how it is. We love the theatrics. So
true. True. Who would have theatrics at a battlefield? That's an interesting question. I'd be curious to find out. It's a long walk from here. You just don't want to catch a ride?
It's it's nice to kind of... I enjoy being able to walk around again out here since I've been gone for a while. It's nice to just kind of see the sights, as it were, even if the sights aren't much to see.
It's an old town. I mean, it's been here since the 1700s, but as far as Northern Virginia goes, this place is kind of taking a back seat. Almost in time, except for the fucking data centers they keep popping up.
I'll be honest. I don't have any cash on me. I rolled into town without my funds available to me right now, so I can't afford to pay for a taxi unless you're offering.
Oh,
I gotta hike it. So
consider it my treat. I'm not a big fan of walking.
Okay, that's fair.
You got a phone?
No.
Oh. Well, I wonder if the nice gentleman in the 7-Eleven here will let us use the phone. Kind of did away with payphones around here, which is a drag.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'll see if he'll let me use the phone. I'm pretty sure he'll be willing.
Knock yourself out.
She walks in. Is in there for maybe a minute and a half. Comes back out. Well, strange thing. Habibi in there. I don't know what his name is. I'm just assuming. I know. It's cliche. It's all right. But apparently his brother's an Uber driver and he was happy to help. So apparently there'll be a Toyota Celica. Oh my God, a Celica. A Celica will be pulling up at some point and it'll have one of them little Uber tags and we'll get in there and we'll have them take us up to, I don't know, the community college. We can walk from there. That way he's not all weird about dropping somebody off at a battlefield.
Yeah, good plan. Good plan.
Yeah, Nova's a great place to find things.
You're such a treat. You're such a treat to have around.
Oh, you don't know the half of it. Well, I'm glad you made it back safely. Welcome back, Annabelle.
Well, thank you, Kayla. Or sorry, is it Kayla
Kyla.
or Kyla?
It's Kyla.
It's Kyla. Okay. Thank you, Kyla.
You know, Giorgio's gone off the nut. Prince Giorgio, he's becoming a basket case.
That's unfortunate.
It is. It is. There's some weird shit going on. A lot of it, actually.
Well, maybe it's just something in the air out here. I don't know, but it's I agree. It seems pretty odd. Judging from the paper alone, there's a lot of interesting individuals and happenings going on in such a small little area. So
yeah, this place is starting to get a little lively. It's got a pulse now. It's kind of fun.
Your choice of words is always perfect. So
we'll have to catch up, and I'll have to fill you in.
Of course, I'd love that. I'd love to know what's going on, since I'm putting my roots back down here, I guess. So,
not a bad choice. It's really not a bad choice.
Yeah, as long as I don't mind the data centers.
Look up. It's our car.
Right on cue.
Absolutely. Should be there in maybe, I don't know, 6-7 minutes. It's up the road a little bit. Let's go.
All right. I will open the door for Kyla.
You're so kind. She climbs into the vehicle. The driver kind of wrinkles his nose at her smell. She's not hiding the fact of where she comes from. She definitely looks like a homeless lady.
I get in. I just kind of look at the driver and I'm like, you're being paid for your services, so a little smell isn't going to kill you.
She pulls out a credit card and just kind of hands it over to the guy. I don't got a cell phone, but just ring it up on your thing. And he kind of chuckles. Where do you want to go? Oh, up to Nova. Up to the community college. No problem. We'll be there in just a few minutes. Sit back. Would you like a water? He does the whole Uber thing. He sounds like a practiced spiel. You guys want a snack or something? There's some, there's some Cliff Bars in the back there. There's some waters. Help yourself. And he drives off. Virginia, Sam.
Yes.
It is not a long drive for you to reach your destination. Can't hear you, Sammy. Sammy's internet is going wonky.
Yeah.
We heard that.
Yeah, we hear that. Yeah.
Not 100% my internet. It's also my headphones. They're kind of like cheap $40 gaming headphones.
Now
so
we can hear
they
you.
sometimes don't work. Okay.
It does not take you and Sam very long to reach the chantry.
Good stuff. I'm going to pull up, but I'm not going to leave the vehicle. I'm looking around to see if there's anyone else there.
Nothing out of the ordinary. It looks very much like the last time you were here.
I'm looking for any other vehicles, like any indication that the rest of the group has arrived yet.
Nope. You are the only vehicle that seems to be parked in their little driveway.
Oh, awesome.
So I guess we beat him here. Fashionably early. Am I right?
Not always my taste. I much prefer to be late, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Especially when we have to resort to this weird sort of planning method we've got going on this evening.
I don't like it any more than you.
All right, so I guess we're going to wait.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on, so I don't see a point in going and bothering Mr. Crowley just yet.
Not until the others show up, I guess.
So you two just kind of sit in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking creepy as shit.
2 or 3 minutes pass as you guys are sitting there. And you hear movement around the vehicle.
Oh, good.
Oh, boy.
You can't really tell what it is, but you can hear stuff outside the vehicle.
I swear to God, Damien, if that's you being creepy.
You did lock the doors, right?
Yes. I'm going to crack the window a little bit and say, Damien?
The only response you get, you hear something rustling leaves underfoot. And as you wait and listen, roll a wits and awareness, please.
Okay.
Both of you.
Okay.
I've got 4 successes.
I got 3.
The two of you, almost simultaneously, as you're kind of looking around and you have an ear to it, notice the tall backs of the 7 giant Rottweilers pacing around your car.
Oh, good.
We're not getting out anytime soon.
They don't act weird other than the fact that they're there and kind of sniffing around the car, walking around. They're not right up on it. They're keeping a little bit of distance, but they're there.
Good stuff.
Oh, safe. At least we're safe in the car.
I'm trying to think. Should we go and at least let Mr. Miller know that we're here and we're not here to cause an issue so that these dogs don't start attacking the car?
Yeah, I agree. We should let Mr. Miller know.
I'm going to slowly open my door.
The rustling stops. Each of the dogs come around to your door. They don't block it. They're not snarling. They're just there.
They're attentive.
They're extremely attentive.
Okay, I'm going to hello, dogs. I'm just going to go to the door and let them know we're not here for any nefarious purposes. And I'm going to start walking towards the door.
Half of them, or 4 of them, break off following you. Almost as if an escort, one in front, one behind, one to the right, and one to the left. The other 3 go back to encircling the vehicle.
Watching me sitting there.
Pretty much.
Because I'm looking out for Mr. Costa and Mr. Toon, waiting for them to show up.
Okay. Almost by the time...
I don't have numbers to the burner phones yet.
Almost at the time that you make it to the front door, Virginia, you see a white panel van coming up the drive. You see the headlights coming through the woods and the trees.
Oh, I hope those are my friends, not the more party members. Cause a ruckus.
Do I see who's in the van?
Kind of hard with the headlights pointing directly at you all.
Fair enough.
But 2 of the dogs break off from Virginia, turn to face the vehicle. One of them breaks off from the car to join those 2 as the vehicle drives up.
Must be them then.
Tim, Victor, as you guys enter the property of the Chantry, you see Virginia surrounded by Rottweilers walking towards the front door. A vehicle that you don't recognize. And from the glare of the headlights on the glass, can't really make it out who else is, that there's someone in the vehicle. And a portion of the dogs are staying with the vehicle.
Well, it looks like we're here, whoever we happens to be this evening.
Victor, you're muted. Did we lose a Victor?
Marco.
Ruh-roh.
Oh no.
There he is.
Well, this is interesting. Yeah. Whoever it happens to be.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Mr. Crowley is looking forward to opening his present, so let's get this done, yeah?
True.
Tim, you pull up.
Yeah, I'm just going to park the van in front of the door, essentially, and kind of shield pull it up so that the rear is facing towards the front door and it's not obvious everywhere else.
Virginia, as this van pretty much ignores you, pulls a U, backs up to the front door, you see the entire pack of 7 dogs rush to the van, and you can clearly hear them snarling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a menacing growl.
Oh, it must be our special guests.
And then at this point, I get out the car since the dogs are pretty much not around the car anymore. I get out the car. And I walk over to Rich and Gaze.
As the van makes its U-turn, backs up and turns its lights off, the 2 of you can both see that it is Tim and Victor sitting in the front seats of the van. The dogs are basically up on the porch, forming a line between the van and the Chantry door.
Before I get out of the vehicle, I'm going to look over at Victor and then look back into the back of the van, and I'm going to say, I wonder how Walter feels about taxidermy. And then I'm going to get out of the car.
As you open the door, you can hear the angry snarls of the Chantry's pack behind the vehicle. You can see Virginia standing there, now walking towards the van, and you can see Sam getting out of a car as well, walking towards you all.
Good evening, Miss Stone. You missed all the fun.
I heard, and I'm going to hug Tim. I'm going to give Tim a hug. Say, I hear you guys had an interesting night. And
yes, we did.
if Victor's there, I will give him a hug also. Because Virginia's very happy to see people are alive. Well, mostly alive. Not Dust.
You'll never guess where we found Zeke.
Oh, do tell me. What mess
I will.
is Mr. White into?
More on that later. We need to concentrate on the task at hand.
Yes, so
I hear you have a gift.
We do.
Oh.
And I open the back of the van.
Interesting gifts.
There's.
I stand by Virginia and I say, it's a wonderful, magical gift.
I'm going to lift the garbage bag from his head and look him dead in the face, and I'm going to punch him.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, trophy wife that, asshole.
Wow.
I forgot
Of course.
all that.
There is no response.
Oh, I know.
I forgot you told me about that.
She's been holding it in. She's been waiting.
When you back away from the rear of the van after getting your punch and your quip in, two of the dogs leap into the back of the van, growling and snarling over Mr. Quince, sniffing at his face. Oh, there went Zeke's camera.
I'm going to start pulling Mr. Quince out and slinging him over my shoulder.
I'm going to the front door.
Okay.
While this is going on. And simple knock.
The door opens almost immediately. Mr. Miller is standing there looking a little confused. Mm-hmm. The dogs are almost surrounding Tim as he hefts Walter Quince back over his shoulder once again. Mr. Costa and company.
What a gift.
Good evening, Mr. Miller.
Good evening, Mr. Miller.
Do I want to know?
I'm sure they would.
Right. He looks at the dogs and barks out a quick seats. The dogs all shut up and sit immediately. I assume that's not a bag of today's produce.
No.
That would be correct. Although technically he could be labeled a vegetable at this point, but that's neither here nor there.
It's a he.
Yes.
Please come in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take the hall to the right. When you get to the end, turn left. There's a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
You can go there. With that, please don't deviate or take a tour.
We won't.
Will not. And I head directly that way.
I'm following the others.
Yeah.
Excellent. Annabelle, doesn't take but a couple of moments for the couple of minutes for the car to drive up Sudley Road to Nova, the Northern Virginia Community College, or NOVEC as we call it. Depositing you and Kyla. The driver does his spiel. Thanks for driving with me. Hope you enjoyed your ride. Please give us a 5-star rating. Assures her that he didn't do anything weird with her credit card and hands it back to her. She looks like she pockets it, but kind of tosses it on the ground behind her.
Okay.
And says good night to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna take one of the waters and thank him for the water as I step out of the vehicle. So,
Okay. It's a lovely night. It's cold. It's crisp. The moon's almost full. And I don't hear any weirdness.
yeah. Well, the night is still young, unfortunately. So.
Isn't it?
And based on what we were discussing before and the headlines in the paper, I would say weirdness is probably soon to follow.
Seems to be the order of the day around here on more occasions than we can count. You know, for who and what we are, there's more going on than I've been able to keep up with lately. It's been quite the challenge. Did you know there was an earthquake? Right here in Prince William. Yes.
Wow. That's a new one? I mean,
yeah, that is new. There's never been an earthquake here ever.
I guess everything. There's always a chance for something to happen. So there's always a first time for everything, I guess, as they say. So
yeah, geologists are confused. They don't get it. There's no activity here. Ever.
So do you have a theory or?
Oh, I got theories for days, but what I do know is that several members of the domain have done some things they shouldn't have, messing with some weird thaumaturgical rites and caused a damn earthquake. It was quite entertaining, actually. The Chantry's up in arms about it. They thought it was not so funny.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But they don't have a sense of humor.
No. That old dusty fart Crowley isn't very funny. And he even creeps me out.
Wow. I don't think I've had the opportunity to interact with Mr. Crowley too much, so I hold my judgment for the time being, but I will take your words under advisement. So
Kyla rapidly grabs your arm at the elbow, puts a finger to her lips. She looks around. Excuse me a moment.
Of course.
She disappears from sight. Right in front of you, she obfuscates and disappears. Zeke, as you're making your walk towards the battlefield, you have to pass by the Northern Virginia Community College parking lot. It's on the same road as the battlefield.
Yes.
As you get closer, there are two people standing in the parking lot as you see a vehicle driving away. One of the persons grabs the other, looks around, and straight up disappears.
Okay. Did I get a chance to hear the voice of the person?
You could hear some mumbling as you approached, but it was too far away for you to make out any conversation.
Okay. We're going to do a 180 swivel.
Really? You see the standard traffic up and down Sudley Road? Nothing out of the ordinary. There's nobody hanging about. It's pretty quiet, save for the lone person now standing in the parking lot, looking probably a little confused.
When I get a good look at her...
And you are still unseen passage, so you are still invisible.
Yes. If I could get a good look at her, is there anything abnormal about this person standing confusedly by the room?
Not from this distance. Not that you could determine.
Okay. We're going to take to the tree line.
Okay.
And we're still going to still be heading toward the battlefield, but we are going to slow down our pace keep our ears open. Heightened senses, kind of just listening.
What are you looking for with heightened senses? Go ahead and rouse check for heightened senses. Or I'm sorry, no, that's not heightened senses. I apologize.
Yeah, I was just checking myself.
What are you trying to sense, as it were?
I'm trying to listen for anything out of the ordinary.
What you can pick out is the slight breathing sound from the person standing alone in the parking lot of the community college.
We're going to observe them.
Okay. Annabelle, what are you doing?
Slow our roll and just observe.
So once Kyla disappears, Annabelle is not going to just stand in the parking lot like she's going to kind of walk towards the buildings a little bit and see if there's any kind of benches or something, because usually community colleges and such have benches outside someplace.
Yeah, there's a few of them along the edge of the parking lot. The sidewalk divides the parking lot from the main building.
Mm-hmm. Also, since before she got out of the vehicle, she used Ghost in the Machine, so that if there are any cameras, she is not easily identifiable.
Okay.
So she's going to sit down on like a bench and just kind of hang out. I assume I still have the paper, so I'm just going to kind of prop it open, but kind of be not really looking at it, kind of looking out and past the paper a little bit, so it looks like I'm reading, but maybe I'm not. So
okay. So Zeke, as you're looking around,
yes,
you see the lone person walks to one of the benches, takes a seat, and pulls out a newspaper.
Does it look like they're reading it from a distance?
As far as you know, yeah.
We're going to take note of this. Kind of continue on a little bit, but keep watch for them.
Okay.
Kind of watching their movements, see what they do. Somebody disappeared in front of them, and they didn't freak out.
This is true.
One of us, or they know something about us. This is interesting and terrifying.
You keep walking. Really,
yeah.
Nothing really changes as you walk in front of where the community college parking lot is and continue along Sudley Road. The person on the bench just seems to be sitting there reading.
Our goal is the battlefield right now. We will take stock of this person, memorize facial features, memorize body language, and continue on to the battlefield.
Annabelle,
just watching on a sway.
What do you look like at this very moment?
I am. What do you mean, like actual physical characteristics, or like clothes? Yes. Okay.
How do you appear?
Sorry. Blonde hair. My eyes are just kind of like darkish around my eyes, and they're not really necessarily focusing anywhere. It looks like a lot of times. She's not dressed poorly, but she's not dressed very well either. So she kind of blends into like that middle ground crowd, instead of it looking like Kyla, for example, looks very destitute. But she doesn't look like she's well-to-do. She is like 5'5" or so. And
Any distinguishing like trappings
facial
of
features?
Oh, yeah. Her lips are blackish, like they're dead, instead of being kind of like, light lips that are kind of like what I did tonight. That's what I was trying to do.
So necrotic.
Yeah, not necrotic, but just like they're not really like, blood's not making them all like woo red looking.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I sorry, out of character, I didn't get to do my makeup very fast, so I didn't know how to do like scarring and stuff. So best I could do was like the black around my eyes, and I
does she have scarring?
So yeah.
Does she have scarring?
Her face is not necessarily horrific, but it's not very great looking either. So yeah.
Okay, so you don't stand out, as it were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like maybe something happened, like she got in a car accident and they did the best they could kind of thing. It's not like the worst face you've ever seen, but it's not one that you're going to go, oh man, let me get a piece of that. So
Okay. So homely yet disturbed. Or disfigured, I mean.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Tim, Sam, Virginia, Victor. You
The
follow.
fabulous threesome and a bruja.
Stop me if you've heard this joke. A Bruja tutorial and a Ventru show up in a kitchen with a dead primogen. You follow the instructions.
Who's having a blood drive?
Enter into the kitchen, as it were, and it seems pretty nice. This is rather large kitchen. There's a big ceramic tiled island in the middle of this very gourmet type kitchen, although it looks disused. Things have a little bit of dust on them. It's noticeable if you bump into something that a little bit of dust will fly into the air and catch the light just right.
Oh, lovely.
Is there an obvious trash can?
Not really. There's not like one sitting around, but there's this ginormous ceramic tiled island in the middle of this very large kitchen.
I think he wanted to put him in the trash where he belongs.
I mean, at least place him there while we're talking.
Walter Quince would not fit in your ordinary kitchen trash can.
Yeah, I was going to place him on top. Like,
He'll have to wear it like a hat.
I like to keep all my trash in the same place. That's...
So what are the four of you doing?
So I'm just gonna, if there's no obvious trash can, I'm just gonna kind of prop him up against the side of the island.
Okay. On the floor he goes. Kaplunk.
Yep.
Yep.
Still covered in trash bags.
It's a garbage man.
It's garbage.
So at this point, I'm programming each other's burner numbers into everybody else's burner phones.
So you're taking back the phones from Tim and Victor?
Yeah, for a moment, just so I can put the numbers in. And then I hand it back to them. And then I exchange numbers with Virginia, not taking her phone. But yeah, I programmed the numbers in.
Miss Stone, are you down for a quick arts and crafts project? I feel like this is lacking presentation.
Oh, I do love arts and crafts. What do you have in mind, Mr. Tim?
So I'm going to pull the trash bags off of Walter, and I'm going to tie the corners of them in a knot. And I'm going to say, could you make a nice bow?
With pleasure.
Oh, why y'all don't ask me to help?
By all means, do help.
I'm just gonna make this. I'm gonna make a big ass garbage bag bow and stick it on his head.
And I'm gonna turn the other trash bag. I'm gonna turn it into a tie, like a little tag, and decorate it says "Happy Early Christmas."
Well, he did call me a trophy wife, and that was rather rude and insulting, and I do not forget slights. He's also come to my club unannounced and uninvited. Toreador, do not forget.
Now, technically, you invited all the kindred in the area vicariously.
Yes, but I didn't remember specifically inviting Mr. Quince, and that is rude.
And he wasn't on the guest list. I made sure of that for obvious reasons.
So yeah, he was invited.
It was a formality. It was a formality.
Semantics.
Doesn't count.
Are we really trying to soften his image? Like, is that...
Listen, he's a dick. He came to my club. He was a dick in my club.
Mr. Miller comes through the same door that you all entered into the kitchen from, and he stands there. He looks almost, if he could sweat, he looks like he would. like he's a bit nervous. Mr. Crowley would like to know the purpose of your visit.
Yes. What is the purpose of this visit, Mr. Costa and Mr.
He
Toon?
reminds you that this is the second time you've come unannounced.
And I apologize for coming unannounced. But, well, I think he's the best to deal with this, given everyone in this city at the moment.
To deal with what, Mr. Costa? And he looks over and recognizes the now decorated Bourgeois Primogen. Sees the stake sticking through the front of his chest. Looks at the four of you in turn and decidedly looks back to Tim with a quizzical look on his face. Care to explain?
Well, how should I explain?
How to explain?
Yeah, you ever have one of those nights? This was one of those nights.
Let me pause you for a moment, Mr. Toon. You do realize you've brought a staked primogen to the Tremere Chantry, right?
Yes.
This didn't escape the four of you, right? And the implications that comes with?
There's some extenuating circumstances that I'm not sure you're aware of. But
sure, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to know.
No, you don't. You probably don't.
It's best if you don't know.
I'd like to know, but that's besides the point.
Mr.
It's a long story.
One, I'm sure Mr. Crowley is not going to want to hear, but want to hear anyway. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Because right now I have to explain to him why there's a staked primogen in his kitchen.
Mr. Miller, it's best if you have Mr. Crowley come to the kitchen. That way you don't have to be the middleman and explain it. That way we can explain it ourselves. You're not liable.
I like him as he eyeballs Tim, looks back at Quince, kind of looks back at Mr. Smith. That's a good idea. I don't want to be in the middle of this because I'm not taking the wrath.
Exactly. We want you to avoid as much wrath as possible.
That's fair, Mr. Miller. We apologize for interrupting your evening as well.
Absolutely.
So noted. I won't be back, but I can't tell you if Mr. Crowley will or not. Excuse me.
Yes, fair
He
enough.
turns and walks out the door.
Well, what do you know? Apparently my idea worked. I mean, why drag anybody else into our mess? To be honest.
I was just thinking, Mr. Costa, we may have been better to leave this in the van.
Possibly.
Is the bow a little much? Should I get rid of the bow?
No, the bow's fine.
I don't know.
I'm sure when they hear the extenuating circumstances of previous dealings with him, that they will understand.
I mean, there was a good reason.
Should I keep the tag?
There was a good reason for staking him, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure we're not just dropping a stake primogen on the doorstep of the chantry and being like, look what we got you for Christmas.
No.
Bye.
No, we have a good reason.
Okay.
A very good reason.
Yes.
I thought I told you in the car what happened.
It's not our decision to make. It is left to those that are
In power.
of a correct standing, I guess you should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
But
I
the
just
thing
want to
is,
make sure we're not going to meet sunlight today. So
Everything I thought I told you in the car what happened.
Well,
maybe a brief summary, but
there's only one person here that committed the act.
Well, to be fair, he is merely staked for the time being. We have not committed anything too far. Though I'm sure there would be a great deal of animosity between him and us for the future.
I want to say this now. He started it. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yes.
Okay.
Started.
Okay.
Virginia, it would probably occur to you that there's more to this story than you've been told.
Oh, it has not escaped her. She's not sure if she really wants to know anymore just yet.
Back at the community college, Annabelle, the apparition that was Kyla Lupo reappears to you, almost standing in front of you. Did you find anything of interest, dear?
No. Just a boring old paper. So,
yeah.
Well, it's not that old, but you know what I mean.
Boring old town as far as the kind are concerned. So, the battlefield then. What's so special about it?
I have no idea.
Other than its, centuries old history of death and dismemberment and war. Delicious war.
Maybe it's supposed to be some sort of foreboding or whatever, but I'm not. I'm no prophet. All I know is that's where I was told to be, so that's where I will be.
A prophet. Funny you say that.
Oh.
Yeah. And she points across the parking lot towards the street. Where if you were to look, there's nothing there. Do you ever hear of the prophet? And you've been around here a while. And you've been gone a while.
Well, yeah, I've been gone. And there's always somebody who claims to be a prophet, so it's hard to keep track of all of them.
Oh, we have one. He's right there. You can't see him?
I'm going to use Eyes of the Beast if that'll help me any, because it lets me see in the dark better, but sorry, Kyla, I must be losing my touch, or it's just not my night. I don't see what you're talking about.
You don't have eyes of eyes, do you?
No.
What about it, Zeke? Why are you lurking? Can't hear you, Zeke.
Muted.
Okay, at the mention of the words prophet, and then her loud beckoning.
As she's pointing directly at you.
Yes. He will make sure there are no visible cameras.
The community college has quite a few of them, actually.
Yeah, that's why I use Ghost in the Machine.
If I had it, I would.
And they're visible. They're on top of the building. There's some in the parking lot. There's like the little domes that look over the parking lot. There's definitely cameras here.
In that case, he will walk away from the road toward the wooding.
Okay.
No, wait, that's actually more suspicious.
Kyla, my dear friend, I think he's got stage fright.
Oh,
he'll do a 180 and
you would be surprised how open and honest he really is. He's been in the news. In fact, his face has been around some pretty interesting circles.
He'll approach at the mention of circles.
So yeah, Zeke becomes apparent. Approaching, would you please describe yourself to Miss Annabelle?
Yes. You will see a nondescript white Caucasian male. Basic.
So you're using Mask of a Thousand Faces now?
Yes.
Okay.
I never took it off. No, wait, did I? No. Never activated. Never mind.
Nah, you didn't.
In that case, no, you'll notice he is nearly 6 foot. Steel eyes, still gray eyes. Extremely pale. with fiery red hair, no tattoos or visible markings on his face, wearing scrubs and a fake ID badge.
Yeah, he's wearing blue hospital scrubs.
Yes.
Barefooted. Has no shoes on.
Yep.
Strangely, has a toe tag.
Oh, yeah. He'll look down, take the toe tag, and just rip it off.
Okay.
Souvenir.
Interesting attire for a prophet.
Former prophet.
Oh, okay.
If I might do introductions.
Yes, my lady.
Mr. Ezekiel White, sometimes known as Ephraim, prophet and leader of a local cult, recently deceased. May I introduce Annabelle? Annabelle? Ezekiel White.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. White.
He'll extend his hand.
Annabelle will shake his hand in return. She's not going to
give it a kiss.
She's not going to get up. Wait, you're going to kiss me?
So
yes,
his hand is warm.
Okay.
There's some color in his face. There's almost a discernible pulse at his neck from his carotid.
When Ezekiel leans in to try and kiss me, I want to grab his wrist with one hand and grab his neck with the other.
That'll be strength and dexterity, or strength and brawl, sorry.
Okay. I have Brawl Kindred, so I get a bonus die for that, correct?
Yes, you do.
Get it, girl. You get him.
Plus your bonus die for your potence.
So do I have to rouse for potence, or
no? You get an extra die for your potence.
It's just +1.
Now, if you rouse the blood, you can also gain an extra die. But your blood potency gives you an extra die.
I'm gonna roll to rouse. No,
okay.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that because I'll probably fail it. So that's a crit. So I got 3 successes. One of them was a critical with from the hunger die. So I don't know if that does anything.
If you get 2 crits, that's 4 successes.
Okay, well I didn't. I rolled a bunch of 5s.
You can always roll a willpower to.
Oh right, yeah. I can willpower. I'm going to use a
up
willpower.
to 3 regular dice.
Yep. 2 more successes.
Okay.
So 5 successes.
So Zeke, you take her hand. Now did you rouse for Blush of Life as well, Annabelle? I don't remember.
No.
Okay. You shake her hand and start to lean in to kiss it. And she moves with purpose, attempting to grab you by the neck and wrist.
Okay.
What do?
I'm going to let it happen.
He relents. You quickly wrap him up, have him in an arm bar by his wrists, and another hand about his throat. You two know each other?
No, I don't know him.
History?
No, I just don't appreciate when
Tinder.
No, I just didn't appreciate him trying to get fresh with me, as the kids say.
You can't actually be choked.
No, well, yeah,
as you're a vampire, but
but the whole point was I'm basically just
she's manhandling
dominance.
you.
She's showing dominance.
Yeah.
Zeke, I don't think she's your type.
Zeke should have worn the brown scrubs.
I want to twist him and kind of like, so he's twisting down to like onto his knees, or if I can, so that he's kind of like, he's down at like head height, at my head height now.
I will easily maneuver. Whatever you try to push and pull, I will do.
Okay.
He goes along.
I get real close to his ear and I just whisper in his ear, the next time you try and pull this shit, I will drain you dry, you fuck.
He will just look at her.
Kyla has this weird, satisfied grin on her face.
He will look at the two of them. Noted.
Okay, I will let go of Mr. White at this point, and kind of push him in the chest with my foot, since he's down at his chest is about knee height for me.
Okay.
To push him away from me. So
she gives distance.
He will back up as if the kick was sufficient force, lower his head, and wait to be addressed.
Kyla turns in your direction. Ezekiel White, making friends. Where were you headed, Mr. White? You seemed like you were on a direction and a purpose. And she smiles broadly.
Well, I figure if I lie to you, or at least tell you have truths,
As if you could
would
lie to me.
appreciate it.
Zeke, that's funny. I appreciate the laugh. So where were you headed?
Well, I think, isn't there one destination along this road but the battlefield?
This road. So you were headed to the battlefield. But to answer your question, this road actually travels for another 12 miles, and I think it actually goes right past your camp. Were you headed home? But you weren't, because you just said you were going to the battlefield. Why are you going to the battlefield? That's really interesting.
Well, I
There's
need a place to
nothing out
think.
there but like this crusty, touristy museum, a bunch of old cannons that don't work, and an old beat-up, dilapidated Civil War house. What the hell's out in the battlefield, Zeke?
Well, honestly, a quiet place to think.
Oh my God, I think I feel like we're in the Wizard of Oz and it's Dorothy, the Tin Man and the Lion, skipping down the road to the battlefield. Shall we?
If that is your command, then yes.
I don't command you. You were walking already.
I see.
I mean, if you're looking to be someone's pet, I can find a buyer.
Yeah. Well, he already seems pretty housebroken.
Apparently not.
Well, true. But that's always a lesson that can be taught. We're on that. We started that path tonight, at least. So,
claiming territory already, Annabelle. Interesting. Nice to know.
You will see Zeke visibly trying to bite off his tongue in order to keep himself from talking at this point.
Okay.
Oh, so we physically tell. Okay. Anything you'd like to add to the conversation, Mr. White? You, since you're so, you were so gung ho just a minute ago. So
Kyla walks up next to Zeke, throws her arm in his. You're so cavalier.
Well, ladies, it is such a pleasurable night for a walk,
isn't it?
And the more things you learn by walking.
It's just past that stoplight, about 6 blocks down the road, and there you are, the battlefield. And she literally starts to skip with you in her arm.
I will keep pace with her and skip.
Excellent.
Annabelle is not going to skip, but she will follow behind. So she'll get up, fold the paper, and just kind of follow behind.
You will whistle off to see the wizard.
Outstanding. Kyla will join you in whistling the tune. Sam, Tim, Virginia, Victor. Having a hard time holding it together, Tim.
Oh,
Happy for the mute button?
very happy for the mute button.
You're welcome, Mr. Tim.
That'd probably help me. I've been snorting into the mic over here. Sorry, guys.
I've been breaking and laughing. I've been muted for a while. But yeah, so.
So there the four of you are. A staked Walter Quince with trash bag bows on his head.
I will pull out a chair and have a sit.
There's a small table off to one corner of the kitchen. There's four chairs there, so not a problem.
Yeah, so I looked at Virginia. Do you really want to know, or do you just want to just say, I don't want to know?
I think I'll wait and hear what you have to say to Mr. Crowley. I'm very interested.
Huh. Yeah, it's a very interesting time.
Hmm.
The door swings open.
There we go.
D'Arqueus Crowley walks through, looks the four of you over in turn, looks down at Walter Quince, so I hear there's a story to tell about why there's a staked primogen in my kitchen.
Yes, sir, there is.
By all means, Mr. Smith, since you've spoken up, be the first to tell me.
Well, from what I could tell from Mr. Costa's office,
Oh, so
our
you
little friend
don't
here,
know?
I do know, because I did see it happen. Our friend over here decided to just walk in unannounced with two other individuals.
Not to be blunt, but that's how you treat your friends. I'm glad I'm me.
But here's the thing. This is what Mr. Costa has told me. Because he was involved with Mr. Walter over there. And someone has told him that we was in the possession of one Miss Fiona. No one else has said anything. Only ones who know is us and you.
But you're not
And of course,
in possession of Fiona.
Exactly. He thinks we still had her. He thinks we was the ones who took her in the first place.
Miss Stone.
Yes, Mr. Crowley.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Perhaps better circumstances once again.
That would be nice one of these days, wouldn't it?
It would indeed. Why is Walter Quince staked in my kitchen?
You know, sir, I think Mr. Costa and Mr. Toon might have a better answer. I was not present. I've just kind of come across it this evening.
So it seems.
Well, let us start from the beginning of why he is here. Mr. Toon.
Yes.
Would you please explain to Mr. Crowley the little thing we heard that you were summoned to by Mr. Quince not that long ago?
Yes.
What he did.
Soraka and I, my fellow Bruja, were summoned to a meeting. It was attended by one Mr. Quince, a few other Bruja, our sheriff, and an unknown older gentleman seemed to be in charge. A cup was passed around, blood was added to it, and then the cup was passed around with the words, "The blood is the bond." However, myself, I did not drink from said cup. I pretended to.
You wait. Mr. Crowley, for the first time since you all have known or interacted with him, pauses as opposed to having something to say at any turn. Pauses. You shared blood.
I faked my way through it as best I could without becoming a part of whatever was going on.
And Miss Soraka shared blood. The both of you shared blood in a cup with, he gestures to Walter, and others.
Yes.
Do you know what that means?
I have heard from Mr. Costa a little bit about what that means, which brings us to one of the reasons why this gentleman is here.
Do tell Mr. Costa, what information did you Good Lord. You took part in a Valdery of the Sabbat.
Unwillingly and not fully.
Where is Soraka?
Missing.
At this point, I would say that she is missing and potentially in custody of an organization that is against all of us.
What organization might that be, Mr. Costa?
I will, in using the phone that I have, the little email that I got, pull it up, the picture, and show Mr. Crowley.
Mr. Crowley looks at the phone, quickly shakes his head, looks back up, looking to the four of you, back to Walter Quince. What exactly do you expect me to do with that? You know he hears you right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're not that stupid. Good. Why bring him here? What do you want?
From everyone in this city, you seem to be the most trustworthy. And I don't believe that our dear prince is in the mental state to make a decision regarding Mr. Quince.
Where's the sheriff?
Considering she was a part of that same little ceremony performed, I don't think it would be wise to go to her with Mr. Quince either. Hence, you see, we have a little conundrum at the moment.
Indeed. Let's step away from this and converse elsewhere.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He turns and walks back through the door, goes down the hall, and anybody who chooses to follow, he goes to his library.
I'll go with him.
Yep.
Yep.
One of us should stay behind at least, though.
So I guess the three of us will go, and I guess if you want, Mr. Toon, could you stay behind and keep an eye on Mr. Sack with the sack of potatoes over there?
You're muted.
No, I'm definitely going to be a part of this discussion.
Yes.
I don't
think he's going anywhere right now.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't think
he's indisposed.
Yeah. I mean, we're the only ones who knows where he is, so I doubt he's going to go anywhere. So yeah, all four of us can go to this meeting.
Sounds good.
Crowley does not take a seat behind his desk. He walks far enough into the room for the four of you to enter behind him, and he turns abruptly. I will say it again. What do you want?
What is your advice on what we do with Mr. Quince? As I've stated, I don't think that the prince is in the correct mental capacity at this time to make a proper decision regarding him.
What decision process was in place when he received a stake in his back?
Yes, this is the part I would like to know as well.
So, Victor, you should probably tell the first part of that story.
Yeah. So, we were at the Two Silos, as we are most nights, beginning today. I was told I had some visitors from security. I looked on the cams. I saw who it was. I went down to see them. Mr. Quince demanded that I show him where our dear Primchin is. Said she was not here. Know what he was talking about.
Very hard to hear you,
I showed
Victor.
him my apartments. I showed him the apartments that I was using for guests of Two Silos, discreet guests, might add. But Mr. Quince and his little friend that is no longer amongst us said, don't worry, he was merely a pawn, apparently. Well, they started firebombing my club. Then Walter dismissed Ramona, and
Dismissed
she
her.
left.
How?
Yes, he told her to go. Her services were no longer needed. And she said, are you sure? Threw her hands up in the air and walked away after he confirmed that, yes, he was sure. He then started pushing me out of the club and was about to stake me when, fortunately, he was staked first.
You're muted.
I was in Mr. Costa's office with Mr. Smith, watching the events unfold. And once the fire alarms went off and the establishment cleared, I followed them out the back door. I tried to create a diversion for Mr. Costa to escape. Unfortunately, that was not successful. When I saw Walter reach for the stake, that is when I took action.
And you, Mr. Smith?
I was in Mr. Costa's office with Mr. Toon. We happened to catch everything on video, including Mr. Walter's undisclosed friend firebombing the apartments down below of the Two Silos. And then we followed them outside. We tried to create a diversion so Mr. Costa can get away. That didn't work. So Mr. Two staked Mr. Walter while his friend decided, oh, I am going to go save my boss, and he shoots Mr. Toon. That didn't work out so well.
So
Yeah, it didn't work out so well for the other guy.
there was someone with Mr. Quince.
Yes.
He was kind.
Kind. And where is he now?
Pile of ashes, one would assume.
Assumptions are dangerous, Mr. Toon.
Fair.
Miss Stone,
Yes.
and where were you during this ruckus?
I was at the club doing my usual rounds and all of that.
Not
I
in
looked out-
attendance, then.
No, I was not.
I see.
This is all a surprise to me as well.
Quite the surprise, really. Mr. Quince is a notable member of this domain, let alone a primogen of his clan, Mr. Toon. You claim he was part of a Valdery. What do you offer as evidence of such behavior?
My admission that I was there.
Dangerous.
I also heard it.
It is.
I also heard it.
You
Yes.
heard it.
Yes.
We had a comm system.
Yes. We had a discrete communication system. We heard the entire thing.
You heard this over electronic communications.
Yes.
Private.
Okay.
Not, they were privately made.
Encrypted.
Yes.
Let's circle back to my original question. What do you want?
I would like to know who to go to get justice for that sorry bastard. He is no ally to this city. As a
Certainly
matter of fact,
not.
I think he wants to see it burned down. At least from the words that I heard in that meeting. However, I do find it strange, Mr. Toon, that time frame has passed, and I have not seen anything from them yet.
That's more disturbing than anything.
Yes.
Heard anything from whom?
The other members of that ceremony.
I see. You were expecting to be contacted by them.
One would assume. I'm not familiar with such things.
Again, Mr. Toon, assumptions are dangerous. Where is the rest of your brood?
We have not seen Mr. Smiles in quite some time. What he is doing is anyone's guess, possibly up to work for Kyla. And well,
Mr. White is known to not be welcome here.
yes, considering the events that led to an unfortunate incident.
So, again, Mr. Toon, you make the assumption to know my mind.
I didn't think it was a far jump, considering what happened, that you wouldn't be super happy about seeing him again this evening, especially considering the rest of the circumstances here.
Mm-hmm.
The chaos that seems to follow him.
The chaos that seems to follow you all.
Yes.
I would agree to that.
I'm not going to refute that.
Mr. Toon, I caution you not to assume my state of mind again.
So
I-
noted, sir.
I will decide who is welcome in my presence and who is not by the time they've knocked at my door. That beside the point, Mr. Costa, Miss Stone, Mr. Smith, Mr. Toon, you have brought to my doorstep a time bomb that I am now forced to deal with. The mere fact that Mr. Quince lies in my kitchen forces me to take care of this. I have no options. That forces my hand. I do not appreciate being forced into anything.
Mr. Crowley, may I offer a suggestion or maybe an opinion?
Oh, enlighten me, please, Mr. Smith. How would you handle this?
Since you do have the Toyota Prevagen, Miss Fiona, I was wondering maybe with Mr. Quince's blood, you could use his blood to awaken Miss Fiona.
You assume, then, Mr. Smith, that I would use some dirty Sabat's blood to open one of my dearest friends?
It was just an opinion or suggestion. That's all it was. There was no assumptions made.
I don't think it would suit her taste for one.
No.
Nor mine. I will handle this problem you've laid on my floor yet again. But in all things, as I have said before, Mr. Costa, there is a price that must be paid.
Indeed, there is.
We will discuss that another time. I believe we already had an appointment to see all of you again 2 days from now.
Yes.
Then if you will excuse me, I certainly have matters to attend to now, don't I?
Apologies for darkening your door.
I did not think that this is how this was going to come out.
Apologies
Again,
for bothering you this
how
evening,
did you
Mr. Crowley.
assume this was going to go? You've brought a primogen of this domain staked to my doorstep. Did you think I would dance a jig?
No, I did not. I merely was wanting direction to go to the person that I needed to. But
it seems that I am that person now regardless, doesn't it?
Sadly, yes.
It seems we have very few friends who wish to uphold the tenets of the Camarilla in this city. We apologize for relying on you so heavily.
Was
I would
Mr.
agree.
Quince violating the tenets of the Camarilla when you staked him, Mr. Toon?
Claire to ST, I don't actually know.
Then you should say that.
I can't say. I don't know.
If he did anything at all, he had violated the tradition of hospitality, setting alight Mr. Costa's business. Does not exactly warrant being staked. Nonetheless, if you all will excuse me.
Of course.
I go
Good
to
evening,
leave.
Mr. Crowley.
Mm.
And I'll head out.
Sorry for bothering
I'm
you.
just going to go straight back the same way we went, straight to the front door.
Yep.
Completely over.
Okay?
Yep. I'm walking out after I told him sorry for bothering you, and I just walked out. I ain't say nothing else.
The dogs are nowhere to be seen when you exit the building. Your vehicles are right where you left them.
I get in and start up the van.
Victor, do you get back in with Tim?
Yes, sir.
And Virginia
Where
and
are we
Sam?
headed? I'm walking over to the van and I'm asking what the plan is now. What are we doing, gentlemen?
Well, I'm going to a private location for 2 days.
Hmm.
That
And
was
we
my
have
plan
two
as
meetings.
well. We have,
Then we have 2 meetings
yeah.
on that day.
Yep.
In that time, I will remain effectively laying low, and I recommend all of you do the same.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do not go to the Haven Club. Do not go to the 2 silos.
Like I was going there anyway.
Stay off your electronics, please.
Yes.
Absolutely.
As all of you know, 3 a.m. battlefield, 2 days from now.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes, but we also have the meeting with Mr. Crowley before that.
Right. Well, that might cause a wrinkle.
It could. But
well,
now that
hopefully, one of us
now
will
that-
be able to make that meeting.
Is this what happens when a Ventru and a Bruja plan a schedule?
Well,
I was there too when that schedule was made. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Well, I see your input had a lot of help then, didn't it?
well, things change.
Things change quickly, so
All right. Regardless, I guess I will drop Sam here off at his whatever location he needs to be, and I will see you all.
In 2 days.
Okay, so Sam and Victor drive off. Victor and Tim drive off. Sam and Virginia drive off. Back at the walk to the battlefield, Kyla, Annabelle, and Zeke and Kyla literally skipping down the road.
Singing and whistling to Oz.
We're off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Is that another joke? A Malkavian and Nosferatu skip down a pathway in the middle of the night?
Which
Might
one's
as well
more
be.
insane? Which one's more insane?
Yeah.
Yes, no, I will still be taking your arm, still doing the jig and dance, and
Annabelle, you're walking
Escorting her.
behind the pair. It's
Yes.
just a few blocks further up the road to the battlefield. There are the split rail fences along the entire road on both sides, as it's a national landmark, the Bull Run Battlefield National Park. There's the small stone Civil War house that was converted into a hospital during the Battle of Bull Run. Beyond and behind the house is a large set of rolling fields with cannon emplacements everywhere. This was one of the major battles between the North and the South. The history is very well known in Northern Virginia, whether you know it or not. This area was pridefully Confederate. They were not part of the Union. They are south of the Mason-Dixon and are steeped in a very dark plantation, thick slave atmosphere. This place reeks of death. Even after so many years, some of you can actually remember back when the battles were going on in this area. The number of people that lost their lives on both sides of the fence litter these battlefields with their spirits. There's a large obelisk of dark granite out towards the middle of one of these fields that commemorates the loss of lives here. And it seems to be where Kyla continues skipping to, as it seems the one place that seems appropriate. Away from prying eyes, away from the roads, away from the tree lines, away from everything, is this lone tall obelisk of granite commemorating the deaths of several thousands of men. And this is where she stops her skipping, releasing Ezekiel's arm. She stops whistling or singing at all. Slowly turning in a 360, she looks around the entire place. Yep. Good a place as any.
Good a place as any for what?
A meeting.
Zeke will stop.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something more funny like to die, but you know.
Or profound?
Yeah, you never know.
No, I gave up profundity years ago. It's a waste of time, really. Leave that to the thinkers. So who are you here to meet, Annabelle?
Someone
Zeke
dear
and I
to me?
are along for the ride.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Hopefully they're hopefully they don't mind the extra, you know, persons, but I'm sure they won't mind too much.
We could always make ourselves scarce and nearby.
You're here already, and I'm pretty sure they already know you're here. So making yourself scarce now is a little late. So
Zeke, give me wits and awareness.
Is 4 Okay. Is 4, 5, 6 successes.
Yeah. You are not as surprised as one might be with the spindly, bony fingers of Damien coming down on your shoulders, his head appearing well above yours as he leans down and looks. Hello.
Good evening, Mr.
You
Damien.
brought friends, Annabelle?
yes, I do apologize, Damien.
Oh,
they
no
were so
apologies
insistent.
necessary. Miss Kyla Lupo's a friend. And Zeke, he's good for, well, corpses.
Oh, is that what he's a prophet of?
Yes.
As he says, yes. I've not heard his sermons, I could not tell you. Did you like the roses?
Oh, they were very pretty. Yeah.
Most excellent. He releases Zeke's shoulders and stands to his full height. Kyla just kind of looks off like she gives this little shake of her head, waves a hand over her, and she literally goes and sits down with her back against the obelisk, waiting. She kind of motions for Zeke to come over.
He is going to take a seat exactly where she directs him to.
She just motions to the ground next to her.
I'll take a seat next to her. A good distance, but not enough to...
You've been gone for some time.
Yes, I do apologize.
Nothing to apologize for. Was it useful time?
I think so.
Yes.
Only time will tell.
True. Time does tell all things. I see you have met the prophet. How does he strike you?
He strikes me to be a fool, but most prophets are.
A fool. Yes. A fool. He might be. I have not decided.
Well, I'm sure if you're undecided, maybe he has some benefit someplace, but so far he has not shown me anything positive to make me feel too hopeful that he will prove to be anything other than a fool. So
His friends have found something interesting.
Really?
Have you met them yet?
No, I have not had the pleasure of meeting his friends, though. Since everyone seemed to kind of view him so poorly, I thought maybe he was friendless in this city. But
Oh, I'm sure it is a mistake, isn't it, Mr. White?
A mistake to have friends or a mistake to be missing them?
A mistake to judge you so harshly.
Considering recent antics, which I'm more than assuming you know of.
Assumptions are dangerous. Many would
That
say.
they are. However, you may be interested in tomorrow's news.
Oh, what will I read tomorrow? Have you seen something you care to share with the rest of us?
Yes,
You see, Annabelle, he has the sight.
oh, okay. Well,
yes, and my visions of late are a bit odd.
Do tell, Mr. White.
Well, every time a certain primogen is mentioned by name, he appears before me. In my
Who
mind.
might that be?
If I must.
You must.
Sir. Mr. Frederick Von Dorn.
Oh, yes. You know where he is, then.
Someplace that he cannot see.
He cannot
Someplace that
see.
he cannot hear.
How do you
It is
know
dark.
this?
That's what he tells me.
Yes, he tells things, doesn't he? He speaks without being heard, doesn't he?
Yes, and it is more concerning by day.
Interesting. You walk in the daylight. You should teach me this trick. I would like to know.
Well, by the day meaning these evenings.
Oh, yes, of course. You
More
will
metaphorical.
introduce my Annabelle to your friends, yes?
Is that what is required of me?
It was a question. Do you not have an answer? A simple yes.
He'll think for a moment. You know, I have a feeling that I have no real answer, but yes.
That was the right answer, Mr. White. Miss Lupo, strange of you to be here. Damien, I'm everywhere. You know that. But of course, I should have expected it. You and I have needs to speak. A member of our society has been appropriated under questionable circumstance. Really?
And who might that be?
Oh, I believe you witnessed it.
Did I?
Did you not?
Well, whom was it?
see, I told you he's a fool.
He sucks in circles.
Yeah.
Are you happy to talk about what may or may not have went down at a bar?
Which bar? There are many.
One a certain acquaintance of ours owns.
Oh, speak plainly, Mr. White. There is no one here. Can you not see?
Ah, well, I do know Mr. Quince was last seen at the, well, by my own eyes, at the 2 silos.
Yes.
Along with others. But I left as soon as possible to get rid of his ire.
You fear Mr. Quince, then?
I fear what he may be, yes.
Walter is a tool and a fool.
And whose tool is he?
That is the right question. That answer we would all like to share. If you have it, please enlighten me.
Player ST, would I basically at this point know it's basically the Sabbat? Is it that obvious at this point?
Okay, what is your specific question? Because that was kind of sideways.
Okay. Would Zeke know that whoever's using Quinn's as a tool is Sabbat?
Not a clue.
Or the Sabbat?
You wouldn't have a clue about that. You haven't done any investigation into that.
Okay.
Was Zeke on comms during the Valkyrie?
Yes.
Yes.
Then you would know about that.
But whether or not the Sabbat is using Walter Quince or the other way around, he wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
All he heard was what he heard while you all were in that warehouse.
Yes.
And the only other information he has is what was shared with him.
Yes. Which is very little. Well, I do not know his master or masters, but there is something wrong within the city.
Oh, there's been rot and decay for quite some time. Why do you think I bother being here, Mr. White? Do you have any inclination?
You wish to get rid of these injustices?
Loosely said, maybe. Your inconveniences are not my concern. My concern is that this domain does not fall to corruption.
So you wish to see it upheld?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
What sort of tone was he giving with that? Was it sarcastic?
However you interpret what he just said.
Mr. White,
Great.
Mr. White, you dare question the motives of your elder, and you should also not be tempting the idea that maybe this would be a better domain for the Sabbat to control over, say, the Camarilla.
Oh, but of course not. Mr. Damien.
Silence of death. I'm going to quietly, since I'm just instant quiet, I'm going to walk over to Mr. White.
Okay.
And I'm going to put my hand on top of his head, just kind of.
She, without a sound, moves to you and attempts to place a hand on your head.
What a dodge. This is not going to be fun as it was earlier.
So, do I get to roll then against this, or
if you feel so inclined, like if you're going to push the issue of putting a hand on his head, absolutely.
No.
Like I say, he moves out the way, and
I just
kind of moves his head to the left or right.
What the goose wants is good for the gander, as they say, Mr. White. And if Damien doesn't want this domain to fall to corruption, then you should want the same thing. You'd be wise to heed his words.
Kyla breaks in, stands up. She looks a bit annoyed or bored. You're not sure which. As fun as this all is, I got better things to do. Damien, you know where to find me. Quite. I have a message for you to pass on, Mr. White and Annabelle. As you have said, you will introduce her to your friends, yes?
You have my word.
Then this is the message for your Mr. Costa. The tower has a message.
Okay. I'm just writing this down. Pardon me for a second. The tower has a message. Continue.
That is all.
Just the tower has a message.
That is correct. He will know, or at least understand the weight of the words.
Ah, I see. Well, in that case, I will commit those words to writing and memory.
You will
If
not
you
write them
need
down.
paper to remember that, well,
Then you're as big a fool as I've been saying.
No.
Annabelle,
No, I will
I
not.
trust you will be in good hands with Mr. White.
Well, I will be probably keeping Mr. White in good hands at this rate, but we'll
As
see
you
how they
say.
see.
I will see you another day, I am sure.
Of course.
He disappears
Yes.
from sight without another word.
Annabelle will kind of do kind of like a arm across her chest kind of bow thing just to the air real fast. Sort of, you know. He may be gone, may not be.
Yeah, Zeke will nod his head a few times, just an exclamation.
I'm gonna offer my hand down and to Ezekiel. Mr. White, I say we probably get going unless you have some other matters to attend to here in this lovely memorial to death.
Oh. Where should we go then?
I don't know, but since you're running around in another man's clothes, I can offer you a place to stay if you so need it. Or like Kyla did say, you lived down the road, so I suppose you could start walking that direction too.
Well, if you would not get rid of my company so easily, I shall accompany you if that is wise.
I don't know if it's wise or unwise, but I'm offering you safe haven for the night, so, or the day, I guess.
Then I will take your offer for the evening.
Okay. I am not going to hold your hand, so just keep up.
That was more theatrics for Miss Lupo.
Fair enough. I'm sure she appreciated you playing her little game.
Anything to get back into her good grace.
Silently, because I'm still running Silence of Death, I will start walking back towards from whence we came.
I'll follow.
Okay.
I'll keep pace.
Tim and Victor, where are you headed for the evening? Having delivered your package. Can't hear you, Victor.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes. Much better.
Good.
God damn it, Tim.
I will have Tim take me to a nondescript location, and I will have my ghoul meet me so I can go back to my haven for the second time ever and leave Tim to his own devices.
Am I good in this vehicle for X days?
You have the keys.
Sure.
Perfect.
I'm sure it's taken care of.
Excellent. Thank you. And I'm booking it.
And you
See you in
drive
2
off.
days.
Virginia and Sam.
I'm going to drop Sam off wherever it is he requests that I drop him.
I tell her to drop me off at the art center, and I can just take an Uber back to my haven for the night.
Okay, and I'm snaking my way sneakily back to my haven.
Zeke and Annabelle,
Yes.
where are you two headed?
I will take Zeke back to the the room that I woke up in.
Okay.
The
little apartment, gotcha.
Yep. And I will lead him to the bathroom where I slept, and I will say I will point to the floor, and I will say, "You can sleep on the floor. I will be sleeping in the tub."
Now,
He will say not a word, but get on the floor.
Okay.
Roger that. And there, we will call it an evening for our story this night. Excellent. At least no really large amounts of fuckery this evening.
We started a hard lesson.
Yeah, no, we just postponed all the fuckery until next week. That's
yes.
Like I said,
that's all that was accomplished.
Like I said,
we hit the pause button until next week.
Yes.
Like I said,
the goal.
We're starting to learn our lesson now. We started a hard lesson.
The goal is to push. Sorry.
I did make the assumption that I thought we were going to have like a mini Primogen council meeting with them deciding stuff there at the Chantry, but a little bit wrong on that.
Yeah, apparently not.
Yeah, I'm wondering how you guys. I'm wondering how you guys thought that was going to go. Dropping
Walter.
Dropping Quinn on the doorstep of the Chantry. I was like, all right, let's see how this is gonna go.
Well, we can't drop him off to the prince, can we?
That's where I thought it was going to go, but not what it exactly happened. That's what Victor thought was going to possibly happen.
This is why I just told Crowley. I was like, I didn't see any of it. I'm just here and just as surprised as you are.
Guilt by association, my friend.
Yep.
Yes.
You're gonna be.
But now he's guilty too, so there we go.
I already know what fucking Damien meant too. God damn it. I don't want to see that guy. I don't want to see it.
I'm not gonna see it. I'm not gonna ask what you did.
Damien is a stellar gentleman. I don't know why all the hate. So.
Yeah, I like him.
I have no issue.
I don't have no issues either.
Like we do every.
He's talking about the thing.
Yes, I don't want to see it again.
Every
Vicos.
Every session
was enough.
But anyway,
at the end of every session, for the viewers who have joined us and are new, we go through and we do a high point, a low point, and a nomination for extra XP. We also take feedback from our viewing audience. We will start this evening with Mr. Victor Costa. A high, low, and a nom, please.
Hi, we found Zeke. He escaped. Some of our very own fuckery. Hello? Yeah. We're not going back to the Chantry unless we have. And that sucks. No, unless Mr. Crowley's asking for something.
Still having trouble hearing you.
I don't think I'm going back to the Chantry unless Mr.
I'm not sure what you're doing with your mic, but it sounds very muffled.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't.
There you go.
Look, I'm not going to the Chantry anymore until
unless
Mr.
I'm
Crowley
invited.
calls us. So that's hello.
Yeah. So everybody
doing.
Yeah, so everybody not place at the plate. Yeah.
Other than, hi, how are you doing? Is there anything I can do to help you? And then leave. Other than that, no. I ain't doing shit at the Chantry no more. Nothing. We've taxed the fuck out of Crowley and the Chantry, so did not go how I thought was going to go down for the Primogen thing that I mentioned earlier. Would say Damien, but he doesn't need any more XP.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go with Zeke for his we're off to see the wizard.
The wonderful
Little
wizard.
Wizard of Oz.
Tyler. Yeah.
Yes.
Because the next person's on.
Excellent. Zeke, high, low, and nom.
High point. Finding out information that I wasn't privy to. Low point. God damn it, I was a goddamn corpse.
You went to sleep
Stupidly, I was like,
in a shelter.
this will be fine.
Yeah.
You went to sleep in a public.
A homeless shelter where they'll find a dead body and go, oh no, better call a hospital.
Place.
Yeah.
Go to the morgue.
Let's go to the morgue. Nomination is going to be Annabelle.
Okay.
She is a bomb-ass bitch, as she has said herself.
All right.
And yes, mistress.
Things just took a turn.
Is this yet another goddess? Do we have another one in our ranks?
Yes, apparently.
Zeke is apparently apparently Zeke is polytheistic.
He's collecting.
God, he gets a new god every 3 weeks.
Apparently, yeah.
Virginia.
He must be really overwhelmed. Oh, it's my turn, I guess.
Funny thing is, yes.
High, low, and nom, please.
I guess a high would definitely be Annabelle putting Zeke in his place. Thank you. These are things that my Toreador is far too refined to say, but if she was there, she would definitely have approved. A low would definitely be all this crazy bullshit that's going on with Walter right now and burning more bridges and owing more to the Chantry. Shit. Just what we need. And I guess my nom would also go to Annabelle because welcome. And also you kicked ass and it was hilarious.
I know Zoom chat was like the notification thing was like scrolling number wise, like, oh shit, the whole time I was talking. I was like, okay.
Oh, we were living for it, so
Annabelle, high, low, and a nom, please.
I was probably, I think it was probably, I don't want to say it was my scene, so I don't want to say it was
Why
me,
not?
like,
If that's your high, that's your high.
well, okay, so like it's the whole, it was the whole like scene thing, but it was kind of, for me it was the putting Zeke in his place sort of kind of, and then having Zeke like skipping away with the Nosferatu Primogen was probably the high for me. The low was probably that whole debacle in the Chantry. Like, what the fuck, guys?
yeah.
We're just gonna roll up and they're gonna call a Primogen Council meeting. Like, A, you don't have the power, and B, what the fuck? So my nom for XP would probably go to Ezekiel.
Thank you.
Sam, high, low, and a nom, please.
Hi, I have 2 highs apparently tonight this week. 1, Zeke breaking out of a hospital morgue, and 2, Annabelle Paramount being a badass bitch putting Zeke in his place. The Toreador and me loved it. Love the whole debacle with Chantry and Crowley being an angry son of a bitch.
Can you blame him?
Nope, not a bit. And my nom for this week happens to go to our new player, Annabelle.
Oh, geez. You guys are too kind.
Hey, you
Tim.
pulled it off, man.
Let's see. My high is definitely the morgue breakouts and the shaving haircut bit. That was great. My low would definitely be the meeting at the Chantry. Not at all how I expected that to go. And my nom, yeah, I'm probably gonna nom Annabelle, new player.
Oh.
Excellent. So high, low, and a nom from me, because I haven't heard anything from the viewing audience, because
Yeah,
our number is really
low
this week.
There was a bunch of viewers earlier, right after the break, and then they all like disappeared.
I know. It's all right.
They all disappeared, and then I fucking threw Zeke on the ground. So
they should have came in for that.
They missed the best part.
They missed the best part of the episode. Shame on you. Shame on you all.
The high for me
Mr. Sanibel.
was definitely, I think, the whole morgue scene and interaction. That was great. Low for me. I don't really have a low this week, so we'll just leave it at that. And Nom, and unfortunately, it's my pattern. My Nom will always go to the new player. So Annabelle,
I'm fine with that.
Everybody this week will take 2 XP, and Annabelle, you will get the 3rd.
Okay. 2 XP. Yeah, there it is.
And if anybody is still watching, I'd like to thank you for watching us. Thank you very much. Catch us again next week, Saturday, 7 p.m.-ish, when everybody gets all together and squared away. This week, you know what? My high for this week really was not having any technical issues. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. You got no technical issues this time. Yay.
Yeah.
No
Sorry,
technical issues.
I got them. I got the technical issues instead.
That's right.
Yeah, but all went to our little Victor over here.
And you got to run
Snaps for Victor.
overlay.
Snaps for Victor. Yes.
So until next week, everyone, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and don't do anything we wouldn't do. Be kind to each other, and please do something nice for someone less fortunate than yourself during this holiday season. God bless you all. We'll see you
Hug
next
your
week.
family.
Bye.
Bye.